12 split, you have a delay of over 20 minutes there. Southbound Airline Highway from I-12 to Prairieville, you're looking at a 10-minute delay. I'm Eddie Francis.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits?
The entire store, LSU merchandise, 20 to 50% off. See you Friday at Red Stick Sports.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Monday, October 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect foggy skies with a high of about 88 in hour one of today's show. We'll recap LSU's loss to the Texas A&M Aggies. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Ooh, you're scary.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Terrifying and terrible.
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. And, it's kind of a spooky one today. After a full game of horrific football gifted to you by your New Orleans Saints, and 30 minutes of a nightmare spiral that was Saturday night in College Station, where it looked like all your dreams were on the edge of coming true, and then everything completely unspooled, and they just shattered very quickly, very effectively. Pretty interesting film to watch and really dissect exactly how it all went down, the combination of events that led to Saturday's outcome. So, like Taylor said, probably talk mainly LSU here, hour one, getting into the Saints, hour two. I mean, not all of us are upset about the Saints. Jake's Bolts did end up on the winning end of that thing that at least the TV guide told me was an NFL football game. Again, the New Orleans Saints are really putting that to the challenge. Jake, what's up, though, brother? How are we feeling today?
Interesting weekend. Very interesting weekend because, certainly some lows with the way the LSU game turned out. Unfortunately for a lot of people, the Saints lose as well. Then you have like the Jaden Daniels play, which I know we'll get into. Like that, that was a pretty cool.
Like weekend winners and stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
Certainly a pretty cool high to kind of see there. But disappointing, obviously, and we're going to get into every aspect of the game. A lot of us will remember I was a part of a game very similar, 2005 Tennessee, where you're controlling every narrative of the first half, and not that you're counting on it's already a dub, but you're like, okay, what in the world could possibly go wrong in the second half where you're not victorious? And here comes a backup quarterback, just like that game, and all of a sudden you're in a dogfight, and that game ended in overtime. This one was never close after the second half started.
They employed that most ancient of footballing techniques, the two quarterback system, and you were completely unprepared for it. Look, so after the show, Jake, like when we do the whiskey and wine or whatever, like I always say, right, that's more entertainment than actual analysis because it's also surface level and emotional.
Yeah.
But I was pretty adamant after the game that I felt like that was less about LSU screwing up and more about A&M making adjustments, playing well, and kind of manipulating you into those mistakes. So I kind of watched the film wanting to know if I agreed with that take or not after watching it for a few hours yesterday. And I do. I think it's a credit to Texas A&M and the changes that they made. Some of the tendencies from LSU that they preyed upon. And it's exactly what Brian Kelly said after the game. And the reason why that door is open is because offensively, you were very one-dimensional. You're very one-dimensional. And also, objectively, they just did not prepare for Marcel Reed at all. I mean, Greg Penn talked about it after the game. Yeah. Brian Kelly said it without saying it. If you listen to the comments where it's a lot of like, because of last week, we thought we had the running quarterback thing down if like he would come in, but they definitely were not sitting there repping Marcel Reed packages during the week.
It's college football. It's not the NFL, and that's not an excuse. That's just the way it is. I mean, you have a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you only got limited time. That's what I was telling people even Saturday was like,
and I
you
know
live
they don't want to
limited
hear
time.
that.
You're not going to practice Reed, but I bet you the coaches thought like, but we have the systems in place.
Right.
Like the coaches prepared somewhat for it, and they're like, well, we have the system. Look, we just played Taylor Green. Like, we have the systems in place. If they want to put Reed in, we should be able to handle it. The problem is, my God, Reed's fast. And you set up a running quarterback with multiple short fields. So it was a perfect storm of bad. Like, you didn't make him throw.
That is another part of it that is going to play into the kind of the breakdown. And look, you probably had some things in place, and you don't, two completely different quarterbacks, two different offenses, depending on which quarterback was in there. But also, he had one real drive. The rest of them, and the first one that he did after a bad pass by Nuss. Well, what do you do to a backup quarterback? You get him extremely comfortable from the jump start of him coming into the game. He didn't have to go 85 yards.
No.
He goes about 15 yards. And so that gets him confidence. And then he has a couple of more short drives that give him even more confidence. And so it was the perfect storm for them to bring in a backup quarterback and have success. And let's not act like he hasn't played either. I mean, he has certainly played. He's won big games.
We thought he was the guy.
Year.
Remember? Like, we thought Wigman, we were shocked they put Wigman back in Mizzou. And then Elko defended Wigman so emphatically they were like, oh, okay, never mind. Like, they really believe Wigman's the guy. And they did. Because he was god-awful, and they left him in there as long as they possibly could.
Yeah.
Wigman was absolutely cooked. It's almost, what's crazy about this game, Jake? If your defense played a little less good, Wigman stays in the game. like if you could have allowed Wigman to just complete a couple more, maybe just let him have a little more success, he stays in the game, and you probably win the game because you had him dead to rights. It was the best defensive performance that LSU's put on tape by far this entire year. I mean, shutting down the run. He looked completely discombobulated when he was going through his reads in terms of coverages. The pass rush consistently getting home, and then everything shifted. Easy E says, to be clear, this A&M team sucks. Okay, do they? Because they're undefeated in the SC. They have one loss, and that's Nick Scorton, outside of Kennard, that's the best D lineman you faced all year. Nick Scorton was whooping yo ass, man. And it's not just in the pass rush. He was explosive in run defense. But it's not just him. It's Shamar Turner, Shamar Stewart, like that whole A&M D line, which we knew was very good. But from a pass pro standpoint, I thought you'd be fine. I'm still a little disappointed you didn't manage to run it better. Obviously, that's the root of a lot of all of evil at all. Yeah, at all. But this is not. I mean, it's not a bad A&M. That's a ridiculous thing to say.
Well, that A&M team with Reed at quarterback, I do think it's a much better team because of a couple reasons. Because Reed's talented. Also, they don't have receivers. They don't have receivers that are game-changing receivers.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that, why even try to force the issue? Now, game planning against them for a full week and knowing the offense, maybe that helps you out some. But we're talking about really good running backs. I mean, multiple. It's not just Moss. Multiple really good running backs. And when you bring Reed in, you kind of don't have to worry as much about your receiver play.
No.
Because, the receivers in that game probably made the one play, the 55-yarder, and that's a heck of a throw. But the way they're constructed with Reed at quarterback, it does change who they are and who they can be.
So Brandon Richoux says, I hear you, T-Bob, but it was more about our mistakes than their adjustments. The guy with 2 INTs said so after the game. Shockness threw him the ball when he did it in the first half. See, I simply disagree. The first Nuss pick is the one that I could point to and say, okay, yes, like that should not have been thrown. At the same time, what?
I mean, they were all not great.
Yeah, but they played on your tendencies on the second one. I mean, you've been throwing that alert hitch forever. And so they gave you the exact same look, tricked him into thinking it was man, only the guy's the flat defender, and he sneaks out there. Like, they played exactly. You had already thrown that hitch twice successfully in the game. They set you up, and then he almost threw the pick again on the hitch the next drive, and he had to double clutch. So, no, I'm saying that's a tendency, right? You've been rushing forward. They know the back's going to.
The third one, though, is like you got to throw that one away. The second one, for sure, to your point.
I'm saying the first one is – like, that's, you got to take the good with the bad. On 3rd and 15 in the first half, Nuss scrambled around, threw across his body, crazy throw, one that you would not say to throw. Aaron Anderson, Kyron Lacy undercuts it, big first down, right? So he was trying to make that same type of play, and it was really bad. Second one, I feel like he got manipulated. And then that third one, I feel like he got manipulated. They know the back checks, okay, do I have anybody? And then he's been leaking out. They've been using that very effectively the last couple weeks. And they had all their 4-man games playing up there. And do you think the end instinctually decided to man up Caden Durham there? Or was that a part of the call, the game from original? Because he doesn't really rush that hard.
Yeah.
He kind of loops around and looks like he's waiting on it.
A little bit, and you'd have to see, because you can make a case for either one. But certainly, I mean, in those throws. Now, the second one, you see that all the time. When you get fooled there and they make a play on it, sure, we could have a conversation about that one. The first and third just can't happen, though. The first one is obviously.
See, I feel like the third was kind of like. Do you think he even saw the defender?
I mean, either way, like, it does nothing for you. It's a 2-yard throw in that situation, but the game pretty much was already in hand in that one. But for the first one, you also have to realize the situation.
Yeah,
I mean, you can
live to fight another day.
Yeah, you're up 17-7. Sure, they're about to put Reed into the game, but you make him go 60 yards instead of the 15 yards, and you throw that one into the stands, and who knows where the game ends? Who knows where the game flow goes there? But it's just there was 2 defenders there. There was nothing you were going to do in that moment. And that's really the first time. So for all the talk about Nussmeier and that being the thing, maybe in the offseason that you kind of worry about, it's like, well, that hasn't really happened. Sure, there's been some times where he's made some throws that maybe almost got intercepted. Like that was the first one where it's like, okay, that's the first time that I've seen that in this season.
They to me. Oh, and what really sucks is you go back and you look, and Xavier Thomas is a much easier scramble throw and is wide open, coming straight back at Nuss, like running back to the ball.
Right in front.
Right in front of him, on the edge. Like, he could have made that throw with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
And he just got locked in on Aaron Anderson. How could you not? Because Aaron Anderson's awesome. That would be one of the massive positives this game. I also think, though, Jake, in retrospect, yes, you put up 17 in the first half. The offense, and we can talk about the missed field goals, but the stalled drives are the bigger part of the missed field goals, and the offense really wasn't that good actually throughout the game.
Right.
You were never on schedule after first down. You were constantly in 2nd and long, 3rd and long. Now you made some very impressive plays in order to kind of mask some of those deficiencies. And the defense in one of your touchdown drives set you up with a short field. Great job by Sage Ryan forcing the fumble. Great job it should have been a one-play touchdown. Mason Taylor dropping that initial pass, and then a beautiful play design after Trey'Dez Green gets you down there. Mason Taylor immediately makes up for it. But still, that's a short field that you had, right?
Yeah.
The Aaron Anderson touchdown, awesome 75-yard touchdown. Like, Nuss throwing it a little bit behind Anderson by design because he had to fit it through those defenders. Anderson having the athleticism to reach back, stumble, stay up with his arm, then have the speed to house it. Fantastic. But outside of that first field goal drive, you didn't really have like a good sustained rhythmic drive, and you could never run the ball all night long. And so like Coach Kelly's kind of talking about, a couple of things when that happens. One, you're forcing your quarterback to just do, like he said, stand on his head.
Yeah.
Like every time you're throwing it and he feels like he has to make the play every single time because you're constantly behind the chains.
And that goes into the pass rush too.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I was gonna say, and then secondly, you unlock like Scorton and all those other guys because they can just be full one track mind. And then Dellinger goes down, and that hurt you bad. Paul Mabinga, that was. I mean, look, of course he struggled. That is a D line up there with the best that you'll face this season, and suddenly you're thrown in there against those guys. And so I guess my point is I'm still very bullish on this LSU team. When the defense was kicking ass before they got hit with a curveball that they were not ready for at all, they looked fantastic executing the game plan. Offensively, you're obviously going to have to run the ball better. I think you're going to face easier front sevens down the road, and you will run the ball better kind of because of it. And the fact that you put yourself in a position to be up 17-7 is something to be applauded. But even the 17-7, again, defensively, it was dominant. Offensively, I feel like it was a bit fraudulent, and then you kind of saw that once in the second half when it just completely snowballed on you and unspooled.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the run game. It's not like the inability to run the ball. They didn't even get started. I mean, it was never even a conversation. And it's surprising. And I'm not saying I ever thought you were going to run for 150 even in a game like this. But what was it? 23 carries for 24 yards, I believe, last time that I looked on the broadcast.
And then, I've credited Joe Sloan in this offense for being willing to, run on second down to stay on schedule, and they get into 2nd and 10. And I charted, and I may have missed a couple, but 6 2nd and 10 runs. And they went for -2, no gain, -2, 3 yards, no gain, 3 yards.
Yeah, so as a play caller, it's like, all right, I'm not doing that anymore. But it's something that you try to stay on schedule. You need to stay on schedule. Gosh, it was, you're trying to run right at the teeth of that defense, and you weren't going to be successful in that.
Yeah, you surprised not really any more edge stuff, no stretch, no horn boss.
The stretch zone they ran against Arkansas was successful.
It just looked like they just kind of went back to, okay, we're just going to run a little bit of inside zone, and that's gonna make it work. I don't know what they saw on film to not maybe try to get a bit more creative in the run game, but it's tough to beat. It's always going to be tough to beat a very good team on the road, and it's even harder when you can't run the ball. And granted, because of how solid you played early on, you set yourself up with the opportunity to overcome those elements. But then when you turn the ball over, that obviously changes everything. And it was as fascinating of an unspooling as you will ever see in terms of just the perfect storm of mistakes that happened and A&M took advantage of. But no, I mean, look, but for what it's worth for me, I still don't. I'm not saying, obviously you left some meat on the bone, right? Like LSU made mistakes. But when I see a comeback that dominant and that overwhelming, I'm not going to sit here. I don't know. I feel like you have to credit the opponent for beating you.
Yeah, we could do some of that, and certainly LSU's going to take some of this because it's some of the things that they did as a combination of both. What's going to be disappointing is being there in Kyle Field, you had the crowd out of it.
Yeah, I know.
They were done.
I know.
I mean, you had some walking to the exits. The student section was like right in front of us in the broadcast booth, and I'm looking down, and they're going to the exits, and they're They're not happy.
I was texting with Lucci after the game, and he was about to send me a congratulatory text at halftime, he said.
Oh, I talked to some of our guys
and
over
he barely held off.
At Texags, and they were the same thing, like almost like wanted to say congratulations at halftime. I'm like, this thing ain't over.
But again, it's because if Wigman had played, it was over. Yeah. Like, regardless of what I'm talking about with LSU's offense being a little fraudulent in the first half, A&M's offense would not have been able to adjust and move the ball with Connor Wigman. Just was never going to happen. You had that version of their offense dead to rights. And I see some people talking about, I mean, come on, you had Taylor Green last week. How are they not more ready for Reed? I mean, Reed looked quick, bro. He was running that thing to perfection.
He only threw 2 passes.
One of those last pulls where he rode it for about, I mean.
When everybody tackled the running back?
Yes, the running back's being tackled as he still has the ball in his belly and pulls out. It was, that was a sight to ball. And you gave him short fields, you know? You
gave him the opportunity to gain confidence immediately.
Yes, and maximize his skill set.
Yes.
You did not force him. Like, you forced Connor Wigman into situations that made him uncomfortable throughout the night. You gave Marcel Reed situations to make him comfortable. All right. Let's go to break. We'll continue to break down this game here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to oakparkevents.com, oakparkevents.com. Look, man, if you want to throw a holiday Christmas party or luncheon or anything like that, go to Park 73. We got a couple of great dates left for you. And look, man, who doesn't love the vibes during the holiday season, right? And so you go to Park 73. It's gorgeously decorated, very festive. We got Christmas trees everywhere. They're going to blow your mind. We got that beautiful outdoor fireplace where you can go set up. We get our s'more station ready to go. Put you, your employees, your friends, whoever in that holiday spirit. Okay, so a couple of dates left. Act now before they go to Park 73. And then, of course, we also have Oak Lodge. And if you need a wedding, corporate event, meeting, retreat, seminar, anything like that, turnkey service, customizable to what you want in terms of food, ambiance, music, all of it. They're the best. oakparkevents.com.
$10-4842 or QualitySod.com.
Feeling off your game? Low T might be the culprit. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has your back. Revitalize your energy and your mood. Let Goodwood help you get back to peak performance. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
If you're a Baton Rouge area business struggling to find employees, Tiger Labor and Staffing, a family-owned and operated business, is here to help. Whether it's light industrial work, warehousing, manufacturing, or just a little help on the job site, Tiger Labor and Staffing provides timely, professional employees to help your business get the job done. Reed Brunson and his team will handle background checks, payroll, and workers' compensation insurance. When it comes to temp staffing in Baton Rouge, whether it's a day, a week, or full-time, Tiger Labor and Staffing has the eye of the tiger. Visit the website to learn more, tigerlabor.com.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's sea to shining sea, and water damage as far as the eye can see.
It's America.
It's freshly mowed grass and a fence that was freshly vandalized by a pack of unruly teens.
It's America.
It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Halloween's coming alive at Target. Jackie and Gordy, the Jack-O-Lanterns, here with last chance Halloween deals. Looks like Mom's got the old pumpkin bucket stocked with the best candy, starting at $5.99.
Lucky pumpkin bucket. Oh, there's Dad party planning with a same-day delivery order.
Yes, it's a BOGO 50% off pizza party with Target Circle. Plus, buy 3, save 40% on soda 12 packs with Target Circle.
Nice saves, Dad.
Make your Halloween come alive at Target. Need it last minute? Get same-day delivery with Target Circle 360. Restrictions apply.
You hear that sound? That's someone spreading an illness in your facility. Don't worry. Janny King, the king of clean, can help. For over 35 years, we've been cleaning and disinfecting office buildings, schools, churches, and even hospitals. Trust us to keep your employees safe, healthy, and at work this cold and flu season. To learn more about how our local cleaning experts can help you, visit JannyKingCleans.com. That's JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King,
Hey, this is Blake Hollingsworth with Hollingsworth Richards Ford. In the month of October, we got some great deals going on. 2024 Expedition, we got $10,000 off, or you can get $5,000 off and 2.9% interest. On 2024 F-150 XLT, we've got $11,000 off, and that's with trade assistance through Ford Motor Credit. And then the last one, we haven't seen this one in a long time, 2024 Super Duty, we're doing $5,000 off. Come in and take advantage of it, or visit us online at hollingsworthrichardsford.com.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America, Off the Bench.
Welcome back to OTB. So I am, I am a believer in Joe Sloan and this offense. And I guess so I'm prefacing these statements with that because I feel like there's been an undercurrent throughout this entire season of like, our play calling sucks, and it's not something that I agree with objectively. That said, King MJ in the Bike Ford YouTube chat says, Sloan doesn't run any screens, sweeps, toss plays, nothing with even a touch of creativity. We can take the touch of creativity part out of it, but I do yes, Jake, there does. I don't know why you seem to be missing some of those traditional elements of an offense. You're really good in a lot of spots.
Yeah.
But like you're missing some of those other elements that we're used to seeing as kind of change of pace sorts of things that could also help break LSU tendencies, which would probably go a long way right now.
Yeah, I think it slows down some stuff as well. And we were talking about during the break. I think Aaron Anderson is like a perfect kind of guy to run like a little smoke screen, now screen, depending on what you want to call it, where it's, basically, let's say you got trips and Aaron Anderson's in the middle of the trips, and let's say Mason Taylor's on the inside of the trips, and it's like, okay, well, Mason Taylor goes and blocks the guy in front of Aaron Anderson. He takes one step back, you throw it to him, and you allow him to become a returner.
Yeah.
You get Xavier Thomas is a returner. He would do, really well in that as well, and he feels like somebody that would do well in the screen game. And so, it's a valid question about that part of it. The creativity, I still think there's creativity in this offense. Just because you're not running double throwback around the horn screen doesn't mean that you're not creative.
See, here's where it's like you really got to be careful about being a prisoner of the moment.
Yes.
You have been a objective and inarguable top 5 offense in the entire country the whole year. And that's facing some of the best defenses in the entire country. You faced another one of the best defenses in the entire country in their house. And you had some real early success. It ends up snowballing. You end up screwing up, but you're not gonna get me to have 20 minutes of evidence, of game time evidence, right? 20 minutes of game evidence outweigh the 8 games previous to this. Like, I think that's such an overcorrection. And if I was to emerge on the other side of this game, being like, oh, this offense sucks, blah, 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 well, then nothing I say means anything. Because I'm not actually being objective or analyzing or looking at the much larger sample size of data that we have. The offense is not perfect, obviously, right? It's actually insane that you've been a top 5 offense and you can't run the ball that well. Now, again, you're going to run it better against worse defensive lines and front sevens. And so, I don't think that's as bad as it felt on Saturday. But when you run up against those best front sevens, that is probably the biggest hole in your offensive game. But, think about it. Dude, going into this game and then through the first half, people were talking about us being, climbing up to be like the number 1 quarterback on the draft board. And everything. So what? That just all disappears? That just all didn't exist? No,
yeah.
I'm with you. You got beat, but I'm not. I'm not ignoring what is still. I'm still bullish about the team. I know nobody's going to want to hear that today. I'm still very bullish about this LSU football team. I think the defensive improvement continues to be freaking fantastic. The way they shut down Wegman was mind-blowing and something that we never, mind-blowing in the context of, again, what you experienced last year and at the beginning of this year. The improvement is so impressive. Offensively, again, we know it's a very powerful offense. You got to get better at running the ball, but it's still, like I said, top 5. Special teams, got to clean it up, but on the whole, Damian Ramos and that operation's been great. They just choked. They pissed down their leg.
Yeah, that operation, it's very disappointing. And look, on Wednesday, I know Flynn's going to have, if he's in, a lot to say about it because he was a holder throughout his career in the NFL and in college.
I was trying to wonder, I can never parse where, it's all going wrong. On the 2 misses you had, we obviously know Slade Roy screwed up the third one because literally nobody on the team was ready for that ball to be snapped. That's the second time it's happened this year. Kelly was very adamant after the game that it will not happen again. On the first 2, Jake, did you?
I thought I thought the first one was a poor hold.
You had laces came in on both, if that means anything, so you had to try to spin it. But second one, I don't know. It looked like Ramos's plant foot, but I don't know.
I thought the second snap was high, and in real time, it felt like there was a slight pause by Ramos because of it. And when you're trying, that's the edge of his distance. That's the very edge of it. He's been highly consistent, but that's the edge of it, and everything's got to be perfect in the operation. It can't be what it was, certainly, right? And a high snap, and Todd goes up and gets it, and then tries to put it down, but I saw a slight pause, and it messed up the operation. That's got to be clean. You on the road in the SEC, that's 9 points, and at worst, it's 6 points. That's a touchdown that you didn't have in that contest. And even as bad as it got, as sideways as it got, if you got those points, right, you got the ball with a chance to go take the lead still. And so it's just been something that's been really good all season long. But, questionable hold on the first one. The second one, a high snap. The third one, I don't know what the hell that was, right? That those things can't happen. And then,
brain fart.
Their punter flipped the field for them multiple times.
Their punter was awesome. That is true, man. That is something I did not realize.
Less than 40 yards every time you kicked it.
Yeah, that's something that, and I know that was a big concern of the coach staff was LSU's ability to consistently get the punting that they needed. But that's something that I did not notice at all real time that jumped off the film was their punter was elite. And it forced you to be in a lot of long field situations.
He was 50 plus, I think, at least every punt that I remember into the field. He's 50 plus, and you're 37 and a 38-yarder that I remember. That, we're talking about 2 first downs type difference in the punting game, right? And so, all those things matter. When you're on the road and you're trying to go, and as an underdog, a slight underdog, but still as an underdog, you're trying to go and win the game, and you have control like that, you start letting little things like that creep in. Poor operation on field goals, poor punting. They're doing a really nice job in the special team stuff. That third phase, that stuff's major in a game like that, and you didn't handle it well at all.
No. You lost special teams phase badly. Offense, you lost because even though you had some success in that first half, it was still ideally, Jake, you wouldn't be lining up for 2 49-yard field goals, right? Those drives stalled out for a reason. Just a complete lack of success on first down. You could not stay on schedule, and against that defense, it turns to be a disaster, so you kind of lost there. And then the defense, you didn't lose until you did, but I'm still giving kind of the defense a bit of a pass because of the context of the short fields and a personnel change that they just were not at all ready for. The Marcel Reed, and it's interesting because we can sit here and criticize the coaches, but we didn't talk about Marcel Reed. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect him to play.
Because once he got back out of the game plan, you went with Wigman in the Mizzou game. It's okay, and then they won.
And again, you really defended Wigman as being the guy in the post game.
Now we talked about Reed before that game.
Yeah, I thought it was a starter. Yeah,
and then you come back in Mississippi State and Wigman struggles, and they didn't replace him in that game, and so you're thinking, okay, look, right, wrong, or indifferent, they're rolling with Connor Wigman. He's their guy.
Yeah.
That's who they're going to go with. And so, yeah, I'm sure that there was a point in practice where you're like, okay, well, here Reed comes in the game for a change of pace, like maybe one play here, two plays here. Yeah. But A&M kind of showed you, at least you thought, that it was Wigman. But like you said earlier, you were dominating him so much, they had no choice but to put Reed into the game. And then once it became a short field situation, because Gordy mentioned on the broadcast, like Reed was warming up a little bit before then. But I think because it's like, okay, hey, we got this turnover right here. We're like on the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
Hey, let's throw him in. This is perfect.
And Reed's effect on the defense is pretty incredible to see on film. I mean, he had them frozen in place. Like, I want to say, one of the first few plays, I think maybe, because he scored the first one, but then after, it's like one play he pulls, he gets 4 yards. The next play, Whit Weeks tries to cheat the pull, and he hands it to Le'Veon Moss, he gets like 20 yards, right? Like, he sucked. That defense was playing so aggressive. They were dictating. They had their foot on the throat, and he completely sucked all the aggression out of the defense. I've actually, it was one of the most insane shifts that I've ever seen in terms of what a player, or more maybe even like a concept, what it can do. Like, you want to see like the clinic tape on how quarterback runs, the effect that they can have, how they're used, how they get you an extra body in the run game, how they force the defenses to cover more of the field. It was I've never seen it so stark in terms of what it was before he came in to what it was after. And like I said, that pull on the run that made it 28-17 was just crazy. And even sometimes you had the right call. So like sometimes, you're bringing Major Burns off the edge to allow your end to crash and influence the pull, but then like Burns on one play, he played well, really played well when Wigman was in there. Burns just took a bad angle, right? Yeah. And so he pulls it, he's still able to just get upfield because Burns in it, close it down because he's expecting him to kind of run outside. It's just Marcel Reed he changed everything, man. He changed everything, and it was just as wild how he froze that defense in place. All right, when we get back, keep breaking down this game. Continue to give us your takes in chat. More Off the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench.
I mean, look, okay, we're gonna have to get these comments. I don't know. y'all like, I could not disagree with a lot of what y'all are saying more. Go to ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. Coleman Roofing and Construction, Louisiana's most complete, most reliable, and most respected roofing company. Look, man, they've been at it for over 40 years, and they can handle any size project, commercial, residential, doesn't matter. They can handle any type of roof. Okay, they have certified installers for all the major brands, all the different types. It's anywhere in the state, and it's even the construction portion as well. So, like, if you have any interior damage to your home through a hole in your roof or something falls in your roof, they rebuild the interior, then they fix the roof. ColemanRoof.com.
Yeah, go to the website today. Right there on the homepage, you'll see what they can do for you as far as a commercial building. Don't forget residential as well. Truly, like T-Bob said, a one-stop shop for all your roofing needs. ColemanRoof.com.
Dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart.
Let's get back to breaking down the film on Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
So, there's like quite a few people in chat who are like, oh, sounds like T-Bob's finally coming around to what Matt was saying on Saturday, that this is more about LSU's mistakes. I don't know what I'm going to blame myself for not correctly communicating how I feel about this game. Because if that was your takeaway from listening to the first 40 minutes of this show, that is not at all what I've been trying to say. And it is not to say that LSU played mistake-free, obviously, right? But this is not like, in my opinion at least, there are some games where you feel like you fumbled the bag, and there are others where somebody kicks in your door with a ski mask and they take the bag. And this game, to me, feels much more like the latter. Like, how do you get to cry? How do you get to say, oh, it's about us screwing up when you ran? How many yards did you run it for, Jake?
I think you had 23 carries for 24 yards.
How many did they run it for?
Let's see.
242.
They ran 49. I want to get the rushes right. They ran 49 times for 242. Like, hey, let's take.
You average 240 to 20, and you want to act like.
Let's take the sack yards away, okay?
Yeah.
Let's take
how do you do that?
What do you mean?
Like, do you have? Or
Just
you're just doing it raw?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's take the sack yards away, okay? You ran for 40 yards. If you take the sack yards away, you still ran for 1.9 yards per rush.
What if you do that with them? How does their rushing numbers go up? Because you had a few sacks.
They go up to 264 on the ground, 5.9 yards per carry.
Okay, but sure, that was just because LSU screwed up. You got outrushed 260 to 50 guys. Like, well, do we know what winning football is?
Basically 270 to 40.
270 to 40. And you lost a turnover battle. But you screwed it up. And I understand how you arrived there because you looked so good the first half, right? But the other truth about this game is you just cannot, you almost have to look at A&M like they had two different offenses. Because you cannot look at any of the success that you had against the Wigman offense because Marcel Reed was it was wholly different. Now, the worst part about that, Jake, is I thought you gave yourself a chance when you survived just the haymakers when all of a sudden you look up and it's 28-17 and you're like, what? And then you have the huge catch by Aaron Anderson. Again, an awesome game. You have the huge catch by Aaron Anderson to get to the goal line. You end up scoring the touchdown. And Trey almost got in there too. But you're like, okay, 28-23. Let's get this 2-point conversion. Maybe we stabilize a bit here. You missed the 2-point conversion, which sucked. And I'm trying to remember what exactly that, how that.
It was, a high throw over the middle.
No, I know, but I'm trying to. Oh, I think Mabinga and Chester might have gotten blown up.
Yes,
right up the middle.
Yeah.
So you missed that. That always takes a little momentum out then. But the bigger part of that is you finally had Marcel Reed with a long field to go, and you let him hit the immediate 50-yarder. And so he could just get right back to like, oh, wait, no, let's just run the ball. So you had a little bit of a whiff of a chance there, and then you let Marcel Reed hit. It was a beautiful throw.
Yeah, well, you had an eye violation by your safety, Gilbert.
Yeah. And why does that happen? Because they've been running the ball the entire time, right? And he's not ready for that.
It was actually, I think it was Alexander who was the corner on the play. It was like perfect by him. Like he funneled him right to the safety that he thought was going to be there. And Alexander, by the way, continues to be really, really good. And he, funnels him to the safety, and then the safety's 2 steps behind, and then he tries to make a play late, try to make a great individual effort. But it was a great pass, an incredible 55-yard deal.
He launched that thing. He was playing confident.
He was. He certainly was. And you could almost feel that one coming. It's like eventually they're going to take a shot because, they've run so well. And, he threw 2 passes. He was 2 of 2 for like 70 yards, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, that was the moment. That was the break. That was the bag breaker.
Yeah.
Was that play right there. Because
whatever whiff of hope you had was kind of sucked out.
Yeah, because you got right back in it, and you're like, okay, it's a 5-point game. Offensively, we just had a pretty nice drive. Like, let's go do this deal. And then immediately, everything kind of falls right back on them.
All right. Let's respect the clock here a bit. We're going to go to break. When we get back, maybe end up with some positives because there was good on this film and maybe like some final thoughts as well, though I think this game's going to have a bit of a gravitational pull during today's show, if I had to guess. More OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, I want you to go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. Community Steel is your one-stop steel shop. They're right there in Gonzales, Louisiana. They got all your purlin, tubing, roofing, sheet metal, steel buildings. They got everything, man, and they manufacture it all on site. So you get the best prices, no middlemen jacking up the price for you on the back end. Go check them out today, Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com.
Yeah, when you go there to that website, always remember top right corner of the sites where you can click on Community Steel. It shows you exactly where they're located in Gonzales, Louisiana. They've been there already for 46 minutes waiting on you. They get there early. They want to help you out, so we highly encourage you, go see them if you can. But if you can't, the website is a great tool. Again, communitysteelco.com. And then throughout the state of Louisiana, if you can't get there, 225-647-2020 is the number, communitysteelco.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jacob, Landra, Taylor hanging out with you today. All right, some of the positives from this weekend. I continue to like Trey'Dez Green in this offense. He did get, one time they asked him to reach block Shamar Stewart. That was maybe not the best idea, but again, I think he has a great role to play. I said Aaron Anderson, awesome. I mean, Lacey was really good. Javier Suggs, we talked about him a lot last week. Is that interior pass rush specialist, and he had 1 sack. He had 3 times where he just completely dominated the guard. Like Suggs was fantastic. Really, the whole O-line, the whole D-line was. I know they ended up getting, A&M just.
I thought
Marcel Reed took
Paez
over.
played pretty well, too.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Paez played great, got good run stuffs. He had the big 4th and 3 pass breakup. I love the effort that Savion Jones and Braden Swinson continue to play with. Especially Jones, he's just so big and he just throws his body around, and Braden as well. But we don't give Savion his flowers quite as much. Like I said, I thought Major Burns was playing really solidly. It's a weird film defensively because again against Wigman, everybody kicked ass. It looked like a continuation of the Arkansas game in a lot of ways. And then once Reed came in, everybody sucked. So it was like, it's going to be a bit of it almost felt like you were analyzing 2 different games in some ways. I thought the A&M run check against the Maryland Eye was really smart, Jake.
Yeah, 3rd and 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like, okay, you want to do that? Well, you're giving us the edge.
Yeah.
We're just going to take it.
Yeah, it was a definite run check, and we mentioned it on the broadcast. As soon as you saw it, it's like, okay, yeah, 3rd and 8's not great for you with Wigman in there, and you could see them making the check, and you felt like that was coming. That's why you only saw it one time. And then for LSU, they thought they were for sure going to throw the football.
Yeah.
And they checked to it. And that was a big moment in the game. I mean, they get a touchdown on that drive. You stop them there, you hold them to maybe a field goal opportunity, and you go into the locker room at minimum up 17-3.
I thought Le'Veon Moss is the best running back you faced all year. I'm trying to think who else. I mean,
I don't really think that's. Up for discussion. Rocket Sanders he's got some moments. Woody Marks has some moments.
He plays good guys. Quinny Jackson's good.
He was kind of banged up.
Yeah, that's true.
He never really was healthy in that game. I think so. He was bullying you even when they weren't really great offensively. He was finishing every run with him being the enforcer.
Dude. Yeah. Chris Hilton. Man, you could tell it's his first game back. On the first missed field goal drive, that would be one of the big LSU mistakes where I really feel like you did leave a massive play on the table that could have changed the entire dynamic, is when he jumped too early on that first ball, because that was perfectly thrown. He was underneath the defender. If he times that jump correctly, he has a very good chance of coming down with that ball, and it's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell there was some rust there, and there's always going to be. And I think it was 2, if I'm not mistaken. Like,
yeah, there was
a
second early jump.
Misjudged the jump.
Yeah, but the first
one
was
definitely
that was
play.
like a touchdown. That's how you draw it up, and you end up missing the field goal that drive. Like that was a big swing if you could have timed that a little bit better. And then look, I thought the interior line just really struggled against the A&M line. Not just Mbenga, even before. I mean, Miles Frazier was out over his toes a lot. Shamar Turner gave you a ton of trouble. Again, like I said, I think Nick Scorton, outside of Kennard, probably the best you've faced this year. This was probably the most pressure with the least amount of run support that Nuss has had all season. Because remember, even against South Carolina, you made adjustments and you ran the ball very well the second half. That never happened this game. And it's just too much. And then I did think that Nuss got rattled after that first pick. And I think he got rattled a bit. And you saw him miss a couple throws he didn't normally miss. And then, he almost threw another one in that little alert where he kind of double clutch. He just looked like, it got to him a little bit. But you're asking him to do too much. You got to have some support for him at a certain point.
Yeah, it's the run game has to go up a couple of notches, not just one. I mean, that's the obvious statement there. But you look at some of the matchups that you have coming down the stretch here, you're going to have to run the football.
Yeah.
Like, these aren't going to be games where you can go out there and throw it 55 times and expect to be successful.
All right. When we get back, we're pretty much wrapped up with this game, but continue to put your comments in, and then we got to talk some Saints-Chargers as well. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to K to Z window coverings, ktozblinds.com, ktozblinds.com. Look, man, at K to Z, they are your experts. And they're going to come into your home, and I don't care if it's a starter home, a home of your dreams, whatever it is, we can work with any price point. The bottom line is we're going to bring your home to the next level. They're going to come in, tell you exactly how the light interacts with them at every point in the day, what your best options are, both aesthetically and functionally. And then when you move forward, remember, complimentary installation. They are the experts. They're the best. K to Z window coverings, ktozblinds.com.
Yeah, go to the website today to schedule your appointment. Have them come out, because they're going to come into your home. They're going to know your home, learn your home, know it better than you do, and they're going to know that like in 5 minutes. They're going to give you what you need for your home. K2zblinds.com.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Monday, October 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect foggy skies with a high of 88 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll recap the Saints versus Chargers, and we'll look at the sports weekend as a whole. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Come in if you dare.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town. With Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Aren't you scared?
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Hour number 2 of OTB. Maybe nothing scarier than D. Wade's statue revealed yesterday for the Miami Heat. I'm guessing we'll get there again during
winners and losers.
Yeah, during weekend winners and losers, because that is unreal. And it's, do you got to push back the ceremony at that point when you see the statue? Like, if you're one of the decision makers, you got to be like, guys, like, I don't know.
The statue makers had like a post-game press conference where they were like, we had to do what we had to do with human hands. Like, and there's this really funny video of Dwayne Wade and his son looking at each other like, ooh.
No, you can tell that. No, he sees it. He's like, huh?
Also, like, how did they make this statue look older than you? I mean, that guy looks 70 years old.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
The statue looks like it has a talk radio show in Seattle.
It's really good. It does. I mean, it looks exactly like him. It looks or not like Wade, like Frazier. It looks really good without the head. Like the body and like the jersey and the coloring on it all look awesome. But my God.
Yeah, I was about to say the other stuff looks great.
Yeah, like I've never seen like a bronze statue, but with like a colored uniform.
Right. Yeah.
And it looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks, but dude, what did they do? I mean, Jesus, dude. And then they had that whole ceremony knowing that was going to happen. That's up there with, wasn't it Philly that just like did that all with AI, and then they gave him a statue that was like 12 inches tall?
Oh, yeah. It's like a miniature.
Yeah. It's
Wait, what was it?
They're like honoring Allen Iverson, and they do the whole unveiling, and they pull the curtain to the side, and the statue's like a foot tall. And it's like, guys, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah, what's the point at that? Like,
I mean, credit to LSU. They got some pretty badass statues.
Yeah.
It's more Shaq than Wade's, isn't that close? Maybe Shaq trolled him. Yeah, Shaq paid the paid. Yes, exactly. He's
Ooh,
still messing with his old teammate.
Shaq's getting canceled on the internet right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He had like a podcast with Angel Reese, and he said something about her wearing like booty shorts and her dunking in them, and he's getting like he's getting canceled.
I'll
on
have
the
to look
internet.
this up.
Shaq seems too big. Like, not literally, but like too big to get canceled.
Too big to fail.
I agree. But like,
for
there's
sure.
there's a narrative out there.
Yeah, but there's some people attempting to breach those walls,
yeah.
which, the internet's always going to try.
Always.
It's always
the Shaq
fascinating
thing,
to see
though,
what breaks through and what doesn't.
The Shaq thing stands, like, to her point. So, like, he won a championship there, too. Just add a little 2 next to that 3. You got your Shaq
it
statue.
does
Just
not
make a new
look
weight
like
one.
Shaq. It
Just make a
sure
new
does.
weight one.
Anyway, so hour number 2 here. We are we can touch on some more of this game going forward, what it looks like, and we got to talk about Saints-Chargers as well. Jake, final thoughts though on the LSU Texas A&M game and where LSU goes from here.
So moving forward, I think a couple things that have to get done is you have to run the football better. That's the obvious statement, but I'm talking about just in everything that you do, right? As far as the scheme of the run game, the attention to detail by the offensive line, and also we were talking about it during the break. If you're going to continue to run zone read, which they've committed to, and like I said this on the broadcast against USC, if you're going to do that, you have to at least at times pull it to keep them honest, because you've run it throughout the season. You're at a point now where you're handcuffing your offensive line a bit, because the defender that normally would be there for the quarterback isn't even remotely thinking about taking the quarterback in any zone read. He is adding himself into the count. And so
it's an unblocked man.
It's unblocked man, and also you don't have somebody for him because you run zone read, because that defender has to respect the chance, the maybe that he pulls the football. Well, you've only done it once. And when you did it, you kind of joked around and celebrated it because like you haven't done it, and that just lets you know that it's something they've talked about. It's been a part of the discussion, but you just haven't had it done. And there's a couple times this game, if you do it, it gets interesting. If you don't pull it, if it's not part of the game plan, then take it out.
I mean, I don't know. At least earlier in the year, it felt like the options were not for us to pull and run, but there was normally like a pull and like a little flat or something to make the defender have to respect me. On the play we're talking about from this last game, I don't even think there was that. And I mean, it's so obvious as to be mind-boggling, Jake, why that needs to be said. The entire concept of zone read relies on not blocking that man and having the quarterback's read do the blocking, right? So if there is no threat of it, then all you're doing is giving an unblocked, you're just letting an unblocked defender into the backfield.
Yeah.
Like,
and one that's coming with bad intentions is 280 pounds.
It doesn't make any sense. It really does not. So that's something they gotta get figured out.
Because I do think, like you asked the question about like moving forward, and I mentioned that because it was part of this game, but also like it's going to be a part of what you have to get done moving forward. When you look at having Alabama, going on the road to Florida, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma in your stadium, you're going to have to run the ball to win those games. I'm not saying you run for the 264 that A&M did.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. But you have to make it a part of what you get done, because like we just saw in a game where you could not run the ball at all. Look, you threw the ball 50 times. You threw it for 405 yards. You don't want to live there.
No.
That is not where you want to live. It puts everybody at a disadvantage. So you have to get those things done. And you tried as far as your attempts. I think you ran the ball, like we said, 23 times, but you got nothing from it.
You were never on schedule. It's like we said, even in the first half, you were never on schedule. And you even tried, just like we said, 6 different times, tried to stay committed to 2nd and 10 runs to, set up third and manageables. And you got 3 yards, no gain, and 2 of -2 yards. So you got blown up when you attempted to do so. Here's one of my questions, Jake. How do you analyze, celebrate, like, you want to celebrate when a gunslinger mentality pays dividends, and then when it doesn't, you want to be like, well, why did he do that, right?
Right.
But, like, again, I can't help but put these two plays next to each other where, and look at this. Dylan in the chat says, T-Bob, there were no trips in the interceptions. They were all on us. He can't read a defense worth a damn. Okay, sure. I agree. That's a good take, Dylan. Gary Nussmeier can't read a defense. I hadn't considered it. I'm going to take that under advisement. But that 3rd and 15 in the first half, scrambling around, avoiding the rush, on the run, throws across his body to Kyron Lacy, who, it's obviously underthrown, which works
on purpose,
out.
I think it actually was.
What's that?
I think it was underthrown on purpose.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But it's still like across the thing you're never supposed to do. On the run, throw across your body. And Lacy comes back to it, gets it, massive first down. Right? It's not that dissimilar from the play that you got the interception on. Now he's rolling out the other way in that one, but I'm saying, the idea of, okay, I've avoided the rush, I'm on the run, I'm going to make a play because my team needs to. It's 3rd down, 3rd and 2 in this case. Granted, I wish he would have saw Xavier Thomas. He could have made that play easily. But the point is, like, how are we supposed to analyze, or if you're a coach, Jake, how do you keep, or can you, or do you have to eliminate both? Like, how do you keep the 3rd and 15 conversion but get rid of the 3rd and 2 pick?
I do. I understand. So I get what you're saying, and because you want to keep that in there, but on the Lacy one, you can see that there was a play maybe to be made. I do. On this one, and you're rolling to your right.
Yeah, you're rolling to your right, which is big.
Which is going to be stronger for you.
That's true.
On this one, I think you roll into your left, and I'm not even sure that anything was ever going to be there. I don't care what pass you threw. I don't think there was a place you could have put the football to be successful, because not only the guy who intercepts it, but you also had another defender coming, from right to left who was right there as well. So you don't want to take away what makes Nussmeier really, really good. Yeah. But, like, there are some situations that even, like, off schedule or whatever you want to call it, are going to be easier throws. And I think the one to Lacy was a better situation than the one that he threw. Look, the second one, they got you. Like you said, I mean, you fall into a tendency there and you let it go. And as soon as you let it go, it's one of those ones where it's going the other way. The third one, I get you're pressing, you're trying to make a play, and there's nothing there. Just throw it into the ground. But for the first one, I think that's one where you can still have the same mentality, but just know there's some situations that it's a never throw.
Yeah, I mean, you can't not rolling out left. You can't and trying to get it over the guy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are.
You got to like, if you're gonna do that, the throw's got to be underneath.
Yeah,
you're not gonna get it over it unless it's just somehow like wide ass open. If anybody's close to him, is not. And I kind of get it because Aaron Anderson looked for just the splittest of seconds, like he was gonna break into some space, and that's definitely what Nuss thought as well. But it's just an impossible throw to try to make. T-Bob just can't be critical of Nuss. Forgot he couldn't hit the broadside of the barn in the third. He did. That's what I'm saying. After that first pick, he did get rattled, and he was a bit more inaccurate than where you see it. My greater point is, though, I'm just trying to be. It's like I talked about this season as a whole. I'm trying to take all the data into the analysis here, and would I not be hypocritical, or like, how could you trust my opinions if I sit here and I tell you all week how I believe that he might be playing the best quarterback in the entire SEC? Dan Orlovsky's tweeting out here about how he's going to be a first-round draft pick. Like, all of these sorts of things. Does all of that disappear in 3 plays? Does all of that disappear in 20 minutes of bad football? Or is it, 20 really bad minutes? Like, what's more true, than us that you've seen the majority of the season, or us that you saw there? I think it's the majority of the season. And, I mean, if you think that I'm not being too critical, well, the head coach after the game was basically saying, look, we can talk about all that, but, like, you gotta put your quarterback in better positions You can't have him feeling like he has to stand on his head every single play in order to be successful. And as far as running the ball too, Jake, it's been a consistent, it's been an issue that's cropped up this year. But you also have run it better than I think a lot of people are giving it credit for. You ran it very well against Arkansas. You ended up running it well second half against South Carolina. Like, you're never going to be, never dominantly. You're never going to be like a run-dominant team. But you have been able to run it well enough. And I think you will be able to. I think A&M's D-line just dominated your interior, dude.
This is something that I had in my notes and definitely want to get to. But I know there's so many different layers to this game that maybe something will get lost. But Blake Miller says inside the chat, can we mention that Nuss also went downhill after his ankle was stepped on at the end of the second half? Perhaps that played into this role. Decision-making, it doesn't, but there was some throws rolling to his right where he had wide open guys that he missed.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, even during the broadcast, I'm like, man, he doesn't miss that throw. Like, they love throwing him on the run, and he had Mason Taylor once, I know for sure. I'm trying to think who the receiver, I think it was Anderson, where they were wide open, and it wasn't even close. Going back and thinking about that situation, I'm surprised we hadn't gotten there yet, but again, there's so many different things to talk about. They were about midfield with 2 timeouts before the end of the first half and throttled down.
Yeah.
And it was after Nuss had, got stepped on. He's limping out there. And I was like, it must be pretty bad because they're trying to get to half now. Because
yeah, it's true.
That's a team that would never take their foot off the gas. I mean, midfield, 2 timeouts with time.
Yeah.
And then when you saw Nussmeier, was that? I'm trying to think who he threw it to on the sideline. But after that, they were like, all right, this ain't good. And then they go to halftime. Like, that was a moment like you're thinking points right there, certainly, or at least a field goal opportunity. But it looked like the way Nuss was reacting to getting stepped on, they just tried to get to the locker room. I mean, it wasn't like they were on the 20. They were, in the 44-yard line? I mean, opposing 44, but their own 44, I should say.
I didn't consider that maybe the injury did play a role. And
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of because you had 2 timeouts and you had time enough left to go make a play.
What happened on second? Yeah, I mean, something happened on second down that basically felt like made you just be like, okay, never mind. We're just going to go into half. Did you get sacked? I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was, so the way it played out, so Nuss tried to hit, and you were on the 42. Nuss tried to hit Kyron Lacey, and then that was the play where he got stepped on. Then you come back and you run Josh Williams for a loss of 2 yards.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was
you
one of the 2nd and 10 runs. You're like, okay, whatever.
Well, it was, and at the time there was 51 seconds left, and then you come back and you just run Caden Durham. I get once you got stuffed while you're running on 3rd down, but you could tell, like, whatever happened on 1st down, they were like, okay, well, let's throttle this thing back down. We're not going to be aggressive. And again, you're on the 42-yard line with 2 timeouts.
NyQuil's, I think, talking about the Nuss hype that I said 100% it disappears. Media is a week-to-week train. He'll follow the national hype instantly. So I'm not. I think that's I think that's true when it comes to coverage. I'm not talking about how we cover him though. What I'm saying is, if we objectively believed him to be that good, which I do, I am not going to completely bail on him because of a really bad sequence. I've still seen way more good than bad. And again, you got outrushed 270-40. It's losing football, guys. You don't win games where you get outrushed 270-40. Ever. Just not how it works. But hey, last thing I'll say on it. I'm still bullish. I still like this Alabama matchup, especially in Death Valley. I still believe in this staff. Again, the defense that you had out there against Wigman, dominant. Just like last week against Arkansas. That same consistent climb. Marcel Reed got you. Yes, but you have 2 weeks to prep for Jalen Milroe and what Alabama's trying to bring to bear. And that's an Alabama offense that has not been good this season. So I still feel really good about LSU going forward. I don't give a damn about like playoffs or anything like that. I just want to see this team finish strong and fulfill the potential that they started to make me believe that they had with this recent run of play here. And so, yeah, I mean, look, it sucks, but like I'm not overly distraught about this loss or anything. I feel much differently than I did after that USC loss, where it felt like a just ton of missed expectations. I still am pretty bullish on this team overall.
Well, I mean, the good thing is you have opportunities. And I said this, all last week, just like you did. Like, you don't ever want to use your mulligan. You don't ever want to.
Mm-hmm.
But we've all played enough golf that we know that if you have it, right, it's something that you're going to use. Well, you used it. Okay, and that was your mulligan. That was, and you had put yourself in that position to be able to have one, and you used it, and now you've got to go move forward. And if you want to get to, college football playoff, you've got to go be perfect. You got to go win all these next 4 games.
And isn't it like, playoffs are still very much in play. Also, before the season, though, isn't this the game that almost everybody said was the most worrying on the entire schedule?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So this just feels like, okay, this is what we expect. It goes back to look, and this is why it all comes down to Alabama now. If I told you before the season you split Ole Miss and USC, you say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. If I told you would split one between A&M and Bama, you'd say, okay, that makes sense. And that is all still very much in play. Now, you have not allowed yourself margin for error because you dropped this game, but it's, you got a week now to get it right. You got a bye week to get it right. And because Bama's a golden ticket game, you win that, none of this matters. You win that, you're a 1 SEC loss, 2 overall, you're in the driver's seat, you knock Bama out of the playoff. Like, it is a golden ticket opportunity for LSU in Death Valley in 2 weeks. So
yeah, and you got to get some people healthy this week. It'll be very interesting to see how they approach this week. CJ Daniels going out of this game. At the time, it's like, okay, you're up, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's like you don't really have he's the most aggressive receiver to the ball, and it's like he's really good in the run game as far as blocking, although you didn't really test the edges at all. And also Caden Durham getting healthy.
Yeah.
BK says what, 80%?
True.
I mean, he's got, dealing with a couple of, dislocated toes or whatever it is, foot, something, obviously going on with his feet. And, how much do you use this week to get back healthy? Because it's the second bye week, so it's your last opportunity. And the first one, you probably got after it a little bit.
Yeah, they did. They're definitely going to rest up more this one.
Yeah.
100%. All right. T-Bot says we did exactly what Ole Miss did against us. Didn't put a good team away when you have the chance. Yeah, there's an element of that. Yeah. I mean, again, it is a bit like we said the going into the game, right? And Ole Miss maybe thought, and I don't know if I agree with this anymore, but at the time we thought maybe Ole Miss a little bit better team, but you're at home, huge advantage. Same way I thought LSU was maybe a little bit better team, but A&M at home, huge advantage, and you let that crowd come back to life. Oh yeah, too many pre-snap penalties still too. That's
11 in the last 2 games, I believe.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's got to get.
And I know you've been on the road, and I know it's the SEC. That's not an excuse.
Yeah,
because we all look. You know what it is when you go in, right? You know what it is as far as crowd noise and all that stuff. It's just they handled this one actually better than they did Arkansas. But those things, man, it's just you can't be 1st and 15. I don't care how good you are. 1st and 15 is almost like the death knell.
Yeah. I wish I could remember it. I remember when I was trying to make the NFL, one of the first meetings, they did a whole statistical breakdown on the percentages of scoring when you get a pre-snap penalty. And it's any negative play, but I mean, it's a drive killer. It's a drive killer. All right. We've gone very long, but that's it. That's it for now. Let's talk Saints-Chargers when we get back.
Yeah.
More OTB.
Off the bench.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org is your one-stop plumbing shop for all things plumbing. That's right, baby. You need a Well, look, it could be anything. Anything goes wrong in this commercial or residential, they got your back. But what if something doesn't have to go wrong, right? What if, like, you want to get a gift idea and you finally want to remodel that bathroom, make it the bathroom of your dream, your husband's, your wife's dreams, whoever's into that sort of thing? It's a great gift idea. What if you got a bunch of kids like Jake does and you're sick of them using all the hot water? You get yourself a tankless water heater. You never run out of hot water again. Either way, any plumbing problems, all at one place. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org.
And don't ration that hot water, T-Bob. You got to do it if you go tankless because you never run out. So if you're like us and you get home at 9 o'clock every night because you're at the ball field, you still got to do dishes, you got to do laundry, you got to take showers. Well, you can do all of that. Never worry about it again if you go tankless with Central Plumbing, CentralPlumbing.org.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
The plan. Welcome back to OTB. Rough game. Well, at least the Saints are there to save us on Sunday. God. Watching Saints football right now is like that scene in Clockwork Orange where they have his eyelids, being held open by pincers, forcing him, indoctrinating him, trying to rework his brain chemistry. Like, this New Orleans Saints football team right now is the most god-awful football viewing experience I've ever been through in my entire life. They're kind of like that LSU-Arkansas game that you lost where you only got like 119 yards back in the day with Jennings, I think it was. Like, they're like that, but just NFL season writ large. It is, God, it's so bad. It's so bad. And that game, for a lot of it, before the Chargers got, before Mahonky showed up, by the way, doing the AJ and Big Justice dance. I saw a lot of AJ and Big Justice this weekend.
Do you know why?
No.
They got a brand new song.
What, the second version, or did they drop a third?
They have a new,
I've heard the second one.
No, there's a third with
there's
the fries in the bag or something like that.
They're just cranking out hits like that.
Oh, it's a banger.
But I don't know, Jake. I mean, I'll let you talk on the Chargers perspective, but like, as a Chargers fan and supporter, do you at all feel bad for like essentially beating up a 6-year-old? Like, y'all are kind of like a varsity team that just showed up. Like, y'all are out here, Danny Almonte, lying about your age.
Oh, wow. What a name drop.
Yeah, just out here beating up on 9-year-olds in the Little League World Series when you're really 13 throwing a hundy.
Man.
Like, playing the Saints right now, again, it's like playing an elementary school football team as a varsity player.
Honestly, I'm watching the game, and both teams are banged up, and they're getting healthy. I mean, the Saints certainly more healthy than they have been. The Chargers as well. They got Joey Bosa back, and I'm sure he'll get injured again here soon, but at least they got him back in this game. And, for a lot of this game, it was a rock fight. I mean, when it was 3-2, I'm like, what are we watching?
Very funny.
Right now.
I mean, everybody's texting baseball jokes, y'all were.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very on brand for the two teams. But the difference was, you've got a franchise quarterback in L.A.
Yeah.
And there's just not one. And even if Carr was in this game, you just don't have one in New Orleans. Because Justin Herbert, 20 of 32, 279, 8.7 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, also ran the football for 50 yards.
Yeah.
And
he had a long run.
And look, he's out there. And look, I think Ladd McConkey, by the way, is a really good football player. And there's people that doubted him, which is funny. After we watched the Senior Bowl, we were like, okay, yeah, this guy's an NFL player. But he's throwing to Ladd McConkey, Joshua Palmer, Will Dissly, Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
Jalen Reagor. Okay, and Scott Matlock, who played nose guard and switched to fullbacks, playing both ways for the Chargers, got a pass.
So I was going to ask, 44 is wide. So he's a D lineman.
He plays both ways.
Okay.
Yeah, like truly both ways.
Okay.
Not like a little goal line. Like he's their starting fullback. That makes more sense.
I was like, there's no way this dude came up playing fullback.
No.
He is wide. And that 44 is like a wide number.
Yeah.
And it makes him look even more just like a block of ice out there. Like he was. So I knew he made you proud.
Yes. And so, like, I think that's the difference. Like, you get that group of receivers and tight ends, but it doesn't matter. Because you have a franchise quarterback. You have somebody that's going to elevate the play of those around him. And the Chargers need more weapons if they want to go, make the playoffs or anything like that. But look, they have a winning record, and it's solely because they have a Justin Herbert. And you're a franchise in New Orleans that you have not selected a first-round quarterback since Archie Manning. Okay, now you're going to have a great opportunity this year.
Let's go, baby.
If you don't select one this
Dennis
year.
Let Dennis Allen cook, guys. That's where we're at now.
Let Dennis Allen cook
this year. The problem is this is not the most exciting quarterback class if we just look at how they're all playing now.
There's enough, though, where you're going to be selecting.
No, I'll get excited. Look, I will get excited about whoever it is. Do not get me wrong. Like, we will talk ourselves into the candidates. But Quinn Ewers continues to struggle. Carson Beck off this week, but like Beck hasn't done anything this year.
Sanders will be in it. Cam Ward
Shedeur
will be
looks
in it.
great. Cam Ward looks awesome. Nuss was climbing. This is obviously going to take him a step back.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. Like even before this last game, I would be surprised if Nussmeier put himself into the draft.
No, I hope not, because he'd be incredible next year if he came back. Like he would be.
There's something about, and maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I'm misreading it, but it just feels like. Anyways,
what if he's like at a first round grade?
Back into the first round, I think he still comes back.
Okay, yeah, because he could play his way up to play your way up to number one.
He could look, and we'll talk about that when it gets there. But like that's one of the things. And look, are there more issues on this team? Yeah, absolutely. There's more issues.
Yeah, this ain't on Rattler.
It's not just I'm not, and this isn't no. But you can just tell, like when you're a roster like this, when you're banged up like this, the only eraser that you can have in the NFL is a franchise quarterback. And you just don't have that right now. You don't have somebody that can elevate your play. And the offensive line continues to struggle. I mean, there's more issues in vogue. But, like, that's one thing. The Chargers have a lot of those same issues, but Herbert puts them in at least position to be successful.
Well, and they have a infinitely better coach.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Jim Harbaugh's resume compared to Dennis Allen, it reminds me of when, like, you look up, like, YouTube videos of, like, India's slums, and you'll have these, like, high-rise apartments and guys driving Lamborghinis, and then around them are just the most squalid living conditions on the planet. And Dennis Allen, he's the slums. And Harbaugh is the guy driving around the Lambo. It is not even close culture-wise. I mean, Minter, dude. Minter's a hell of a D coordinator, too. You think is he going to be one of the next? I know everybody wants to go offensive with their head coaches, but like maybe one of the next defensive names that could get hired. Like you see Dan Quinn have success right now in Washington. I feel like Minter's got to be climbing that ladder as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the best defenses. I mean, they are as far as, points per game in the NFL. They only, held their case against the Saints.
Bro, Shadur Sanders in the black and gold. I'm starting to get a little hot and bothered now.
I mean, he's already in the black and gold. Looks pretty good.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He looks damn good in it, bro.
As long as
can Deion come too?
Just
replace Dennis Allen?
As long as there's a new voice that he hears in the front of team meetings.
What? You don't want to bring Prime?
No. I'm talking about Dennis Allen.
I was about to say, hear me out. Hear me out.
No. I'm talking about Shadur. If he's in those meeting rooms, he doesn't hear Dennis Allen because Dennis isn't there.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, that's starting to feel more and more because this team is collapsing.
There's nothing that you can fall back on.
No.
There's not one thing. Like, okay, let's flip it. And if you were, you talked about Harbaugh. Okay, let's say Harbaugh was in the same situation. You would at least be like, okay, yeah, I get it. But, you fall back on the Michigan stuff. You fall back on the 49er stuff. You fall
back on something with the 3 NFC championships in a row, including a Super Bowl. He's like one of the winningest. He's probably one of the best head coach winning percentages of all time.
Yeah. Like, there's things to fall back on. Typically, like if you're in this situation and you're still the coach, that's what they're doing. They're like, okay, but remember. There's no but remember. The only thing we remember is bad.
Yeah.
It was bad in Oakland. It's been bad in New Orleans. There's no juice to this team. There's no juice to the sidelines, right? And you feel bad for the veteran players that are out there trying to give you everything that they've got because it's just there's no plan for success right now at all.
No.
I mean, it looks like they're having to show up on Sundays and play because they have to.
You said show, and it sounded like something else. I thought you were about to say the bed, and that is basically what this. Like that's what my son Sunday morning, the babysitter said I forgot to put pants on him, and so I woke up to just a crib full of human excrement.
Wait.
It felt like almost exactly like what watching that Saints game felt like, just
Poor
cleaning
Quad
up
Bob.
poop everywhere. He was chilling. I mean, I'm like, you're a sick little bastard, aren't you? You're just happy as can be, covered in your own crap. You look exactly like Dennis Allen.
Gosh, I saw a story, and I forget, so I apologize. I'll try to find out where it was. I saw a story that said Dennis Allen had one of the most, and this was the headline, cowardly punts in the NFL since 1999.
Yeah.
So in the first quarter on the Chargers, I believe 42?
He doesn't want to play winning football, dude.
Right, and it was 1 to go, and it by the numbers, it was at like a 95% you should go for it in that situation. And by the numbers, the analytics of it, it was the most cowardly punt in the NFL since 1999.
I'm starting a new club. It's called the Courage the Cowardly Coach Punt Club. Mark Stoops is in there. I put Brent Venables in there this weekend, and Dennis Allen. He can be the headliner.
Oh, I have
after
it.
That one.
I have it. Okay. Surrender index 90. New Orleans decided to punt from the Chargers 47-yard line on 4th and 1 with 11:23 remaining in the first while tied 0-0. With a surrender index of 8.96, this punt ranks at the 95th percentile of cowardly punts of the 2024 season and the 91st percentile of all punts since 1999.
Unreal.
So not playing aggressive, even though you need to play aggressive and try to change up the mojo.
All right, a bit more Saints when we get back. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to the Queen of Baton Rouge, thequeenbr.com. The Queen is your home for football, the ultimate football destination. It's right there downtown. The new DraftKings Sportsbook's fantastic, guys. Wall-to-wall TVs. You know, cash in, cash out when you win. All the player props you could possibly dream of when it comes to the NFL. Craft you up a little tasty little parlay and then get you a little tasty meal from the 1717 restaurant and lounge while you're watching. It's a great place to hang. Go to the Queen, Baton Rouge, queenbr.com.
Yeah, go to the website today and you'll find your ultimate football destination. There you can see what we talk about. You can see the DraftKings Sportsbook. You can see the setup. You can see all the renovations that we've been telling you all about, all the great restaurants as well. And you can join us. Like, we watch primetime football games there. We'll let you know the next time that we will be out there at the Queen. Come join us. Come have a great time. The brand new Queen, queenbr.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
It was an evening I shared with the sun.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Oh, man, I can't imagine what the Cannon had to say after the game yesterday. I'm not going to lie, dude. I didn't give much to that Saints game yesterday. You know, they kind of let me know early on it was probably safe to go ahead and check out of that one. I mean, if nothing else, the positive on this is that, like, for all of Mickey Loomis's look beyond the results, you can't, you know? Like, if nothing else, how bad they are getting and playing is providing clarity. And, yes, Derek Carr is still your best option at quarterback, but it's not, you know. Doesn't matter that much. I mean, you had Lucas Patrick back this game. Cesar Ruiz back this game. Olave, and it just didn't mean much of anything. So, it's kind of fun, though, to be able to talk about potential quarterbacks. You know, it's something you haven't been able to do in years and years. And now you're in that weird spot where if you lose, you're kind of like, okay, well, you know, at least this means that you're driving up them draft boards. Maybe won't have to give up a lot of draft capital to go get your guy if you can keep managing to lose at such an astounding rate. I mean, who is worse than the Saints in the NFL right now?
The Tennessee Titans may be the only one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe. They lost 52-14 yesterday.
Yeah, Panthers are bad.
And they're
too.
one win. Yeah, Panthers.
Do the Panthers have a pick, or was that last year that they?
That was last year.
Okay, yeah. So they will have a first round pick.
And they're probably, wildly enough, they're probably going to be looking at quarterback.
Yeah, I know. Do you think Bryce Young gets a second chance somewhere, or does he have to go back up and then later in his career maybe he gets like a Sam Darnold or a Geno Smith opportunity?
I mean, who does he replace right now?
Yeah, there's been nothing, T, that makes you like, okay, in the right offense, maybe. No, it's just been all bad.
It was pretty bad with Geno, though, and it was bad with Sam Darnold for years.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So he'll have to go do that.
Yeah.
He'll have to go be the backup somewhere and then maybe get his opportunity in the right system.
I mean, and yeah, that's the thing, man. It's a lot of this is fit, you know, unless you're just one of these overwhelming guys. Like, a lot of it is fit. Look what happens suddenly when you give Sam Darnold, O'Connell, and Jefferson and just a more stable and successful environment. Geno Smith with Shane Waldron over there in Seattle. Maybe Bryce Young can prove to be that. I don't know. Only time will tell. But I was having that conversation with someone this weekend, and yeah, he'll probably have to go and find his way elsewhere. In terms of Rattler, you know, it's like you can't really say it's a 5th round pick, and it's on an offense that's already bad and doesn't have a lot of support. So I don't know that it's how do you what's your analysis of Rattler right now?
I mean, a lot of what you just said. I do think there's players that he does get involved in the game plan sometimes that Carr didn't, and the tight end position. So I think there's some things that he's done a nice job of. But you're right. Look, it's 5th round selection and probably played sooner than he was probably ready for. And then also, anytime that you have pressure like the Saints have been giving up in the interior of your offensive line, it is always going to be an uphill battle for a young player. You really played bad at center again. You played really bad at right guard. Cesar Ruiz was in there, and you played really bad. And so as a young quarterback, where do you go? What do you do? Like a veteran quarterback, he's going to find a way, and he knows like the little small windows that he can find in the pocket to be able to get the pass off. So did Rattler play great? No, but to me, it's more of some of the things that were surrounding him than just Rattler. Like, I wouldn't give up on Spencer Rattler moving forward as far as, being somebody who's on this team. It's not to say you don't draft a quarterback in the 1st round. I still think you do.
Yeah.
But he's an NFL player.
Yeah. He'll yeah. I agree. But hey, Derek Carr's probably going to play again next week, so.
Well, if you're trying to tank.
I'm already trying to think about what it's going to be like living without testicles, because that's going to be tough for me. Because I clearly am going to have to.
Yeah, I think you're going to be good, and here's why. He hadn't played in a number of weeks. He'll be top 10 and probably like least amount of interceptions thrown.
Okay.
So you'll be good to go, dude.
There we go. Okay.
I got you.
Find a way to wriggle out of this thing.
There you
The Carfax not looking good. All right.
We're not considering like minimum passes thrown. We don't give a crap about that. He didn't throw that many interceptions.
When we get back, close out hour 2 of OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, GEAUX, Tommy's.com. You need Hardy Planker vinyl windows, Hardy Planker vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door. It's all there. Reliable window installation. And these are investments that pay for themselves, right? Because all of a sudden your home's more energy efficient, less to cool, less to heat. So, you make up whatever you pay over time. And you invest in your greatest asset, which is your home. And you get integrity, you get dependable service, efficient, quick. There's a reason why they've taken home that Angie Service Award every single year they've been in existence. And figure it out for yourself by making them one of the bids on your project. Go Tommy's.com.
Yeah, and you will clearly see the difference. And always remember, like, if you've got a custom job in your mind and you're wondering, can they do it? Chances are they can. Just have them come out and they'll show you exactly what they can do for you. Go Tommy's.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Join us at Pro Dreams in Mandeville for our special event, A Day of Champions. Meet LSU National Championship winning head coaches Jay Johnson, Skip Bertman, and Paul Maneri. Don't miss your chance to purchase authentic sports memorabilia, autographed by the champions themselves. It's the perfect opportunity to celebrate LSU baseball and take home a piece of history. Visit pro-dreams.com to get your tickets. See you there.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the...
Make up your mind.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Around the lake tonight. Around the lake tonight.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Couple minutes left here in hour number 2. Hour 3 going to kick off weekend winners, get this thing started. Did anything jump out, any PFF grades to you from this game, Jake? I can't imagine the interior O-line graded out.
Talking LSU or Saints?
No, talking LSU. No, I'm done with Saints. I mean, we hold these truths to be self-evident when it comes to the Saints. They're really bad.
Look, if you want to look at lowest rated players as far as stars, because, I mean, Shelton Sampson was lowest rated. He played 6 plays in the game. I mean, Will Campbell was your lowest rated of your starters.
Well,
DJ Chester was down there. I mean, the entire offensive line.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny because, like, I always like piecing together, okay, what did we think was going to happen before the game? And we analyzed it correctly. And then what surprised us. And to me, that's arguably maybe the biggest element in this game is, you know, I have such belief in this O-line, even with some of their run game deficiencies, that I was very much a believer that as good as A&M's front seven was, which was very good, that your O-line could nullify them, and they won that battle.
Yeah, and it wasn't the passing grades. It was actually the run blocking grades that brought you down to where you're at. You had some okay pass blocking grades. Yeah, but the run block stuff, I mean, we're talking 43, 47, 48, 49
You're
as far as
getting blowed
grades.
up.
Your highest graded player only played 11 plays, but it was C.J. Daniels. And I talked about that on the pregame show, talked about it. Like, he means a lot to what you want to get done.
Yeah.
Not only through the air, but on the ground. And that was, like, when he went out, it was bigger than people were going to give it credit. And you talk about, like, attacking the football and being aggressive with his hands and strong hands, he's the best you have. And so, like, that, you know, that is somebody you need to absolutely get healthy for this stretch run.
One thing that I thought Elko did a good job with, too, and we always got to remember, Elko's a defensive coach, right? I thought, Jake, they did a good job a couple of times of knowing your tendencies and manipulating them with some of those slide protections.
Yeah.
Where you would show pressure from one side, flip right at the snap, and there were at least 2 times, maybe 3, where you had 6 guys in protection. They only brought 5, and yet they had multiple free guys.
Yeah.
Because
they brought more than they had been. And that was a question that we asked.
Yeah.
Were they going to bring numbers?
It seemed like on, you know, your obvious third down, a lot of the first, second down to me felt like a lot of 4-man rushes with games, but like, and then third down, they would dial up some pressure. But again, just disappointing because a few times you had the numbers to pick it up, but they manipulated you and they created free rushers without overcommitting. You know, like I said, 5 against 6 and getting home. But hour 2 in the books, hour 3 coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to TrashRangers.com. TrashRangers.com. Trash Rangers is your reliable trash experts, man. Why choose them? Well, just talk to your neighbor. If you live in Livingston or Ascension Parish, you probably see the red cans popping up, and you see why everybody's making the switch. It's because they're local. They give a damn. They do customer-forward things like reminding you the night before it's your pickup day so you never forget to put the cans out again. If you're a business, that can be anywhere in the listening area, okay? You have a choice. And they got front-load dumpsters they can empty anywhere from 1 to 6 times a week, depending on what your business needs. Any big project where you need a big roll-off dumpster, they got you there as well. Work with the locals. Go with TrashRangers.com.
Yeah, go to the website today. Right there at the bottom of the website, you'll see what T-Bob's talking about. You can sign up for residential service, commercial service, also those roll-off dumpsters that we tell you about. Oh, right there, their brand new website. 3 different sizes of dumpsters to choose from. They're going to make sure you get the right one. Go to TrashRangers.com, TrashRangers.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Monday, October 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 88 in hour 3 of today's show. We'll have weekend winners at 9 a.m. Then Devin Snow hops on the show at 9:15. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Happy Halloween! Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Enter at your own risk.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town. With Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
It might even horrify you.
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
All right, final hour. Let's go ahead and get this thing started.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
Shout out Tiger Labor and Staffing, man. If you need local staffing solutions for warehouse, construction, manufacturing positions, whether it's temp or long-term, Tiger Labor and Staffing has you covered with skilled, dependable workers, locally owned and operated, proud to serve the Baton Rouge area with fast, flexible service. So you deal with no call, no shows this morning, you're short-staffed, get Tiger Labor and Staffing a call and let them meet all of your workforce needs. Rough weekend. Pels are 2-1, but DeJounte Murray had hand surgery. Because of course he did. The man played one game with the Pelicans and broke his hand. But you know what? He had one of those posts that when you're just like a fan of a toxically bad team, but you just still always believe that things are going to get good because you're an idiot. He did post him and Willie Green next to each other and just said, look, basically stay tuned. I promise you guys this is going to be special. So I believe, kind of. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still struggling to get into the NBA flow with all this football going on right now.
It's always, a little bit of a later burn.
Taylor, what'd you say about the Saints losing 6 in a row?
First time since 2005 they've lost 6 straight games. So before Sean Payton got to New Orleans.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, that's a pretty stark example of where you're at right now and some of the depths that you are plumbing that you have not been at in a while, that you have not been at it for a while now. All right, let's get into our weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that?
Win the whole thing.
My first weekend winner, our favorite Saints quarterback, Jameis Winston. How about it? Getting the start for Cleveland, has an excellent game. They beat the Ravens. First time the Ravens have lost since the beginning of the season. And all of his interviews pregame and postgame were fantastic. Constantly giving the glory to God, talking about unwavering faith, God first, putting the team. I mean, Jameis is undeniably a bit goofy, but also undeniably a good leader and somebody that that men want to follow. How do we feel about the Kirk Cousins pregame chant?
I love it.
We'll play it.
Okay.
We know it. Let's play it later, and we can break it down because. Well, we'll play it later.
I also love Jameis. He was going to be one of my weekend winners. I've always been a really big fan of Jameis, and he had a really funny pregame also where he was like, play for the team on your helmet or something like that. He's like, well, we ain't got no decal.
We don't need no decal. We don't need no decal.
Oh, bless.
Jameis. I love that guy.
MDK said, T-Bob, I want to say excellent. The Ravens dropped 3 picks. I mean, whatever, dude. You
It's
win.
fine.
You know,
Yeah.
you beat the Ravens.
Well, guess who didn't have
after
any
all
picks?
the Deshaun Watson madness? Like,
Well, and like, granted, like after the first 2 weeks, like the Ravens were 0-2. Last 5 or 6 weeks, they've got like the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like nobody
Yeah.
can stop them. And you kind of shut down Derrick Henry, which hadn't happened all year long. Like, no, that's a big win for Cleveland.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a team that I would be shocked if they're not deep into the AFC playoffs and you
Yeah.
beat them. So, I know all of us have this one, so let's go ahead and get the conversation going on this. Jaden Daniels, the Commanders.
Yeah.
I mean, certain weekend winner. You're going against Caleb Williams, the number 1 pick. You're the number 2 pick. You're winning all game long, and then all of a sudden they score with 20-something seconds left, and they're celebrating like they've already won, including during a play. And you go out there, and what an impressive throw. I mean, like 65 yards through the air, like on a dime. And you win on a Hail Mary, one of the best plays you'll see in a very long time. That play is going to be played forever. Like, that play will never go away. And it is Jaden Daniels beating Caleb Williams, which is just like the cherry on top.
It's crazy, too, because the Bears were right there at 5-2. Despite having a pretty anemic offense this entire year, their defense is so good. They're playing so solidly as a team. They were right there at 5-2. And look, that's perfect Hail Mary design in terms of you have one guy in the front, you have one guy in the back, and then you muddy everybody else up in there in the middle and try to create that sort of a tip opportunity. But of course, Taylor, we know who we have to highlight as a weekend loser in this.
Oh yeah, so this is one that I wanted to have to go along with it. Tyreek Stevenson, the DB for the Bears, was yelling at Commanders fans. Watch this in the middle of the play. So the ball's already snapped.
That's wild.
He's still hyping up the crowd. And look, he turns. He's like, okay, here's the play. Cherry on top. He's the one that tipped the ball straight up in the air.
Yeah.
Watch
now,
this play.
I will say this. It had the potential to be awesome, where if he does bat that down, it's one of the swaggiest plays you've ever seen, because he's literally talking crap halfway through the play, and then to sort of be able to turn around, lock in, and bat that thing down would have been awesome. But when you talk that noise, you put yourself out there, and when it doesn't go right, you end up like Sean Payton on the Minnesota Miracle, right? Where he's sitting in the crowd, he's doing the choke symbol, and then next thing you know, you choke.
It's a risk you take when you talk crap.
It's a risk you take. And I love it. I love talking trash, so I like it. Like, do your thing. But something tells me, Jake, that's not going to be a very friendly film review for Stevenson this morning.
We call this one a 3-for-1 in the NFL, okay? We used to talk about it all the time, a 3-for-1. And what is that? It is when you get an ass chewing in the team meeting room in front of the entire team, and then you get an ass chewing in the defensive team meeting, and then you get a third ass chewing in the position meeting room. We call that a 3-for-1. Like, you can get an attaboy in a 3-for-1, and you can get an attaboy, in certain situations. But you're going to get a 3-for-1 ass chewing in this one. Team, defense, position meeting room, and it ain't going to just go away. In those circles in now Bears management, this is going to be the thing they know and remember about you the most.
Yeah. That's, bad day to be Stevenson. God, it would have been so cool, too. He looked cool when that ball was snapped. Did not look cool afterwards.
What cracks me up is the crowd pointing at the play going on. Like, hey, look, there's still a play going on.
Shout out Jaden Daniels, though.
Yeah, shout out JD5.
That's the real key here.
Yeah.
Beating Caleb Williams, setting it up perfectly. Even the pass before, right? To make the, to be composed, make the play, set yourself up for the Hail Mary opportunity.
2 passes.
Yeah.
He's 3 for 3 on that drive.
Yeah, true.
All right, my first weekend winner, we've got a thick 6 alert. Javari Ritzy from UNC took it to the house, but I want to play this.
Let me see this thing.
I want to play this with sound, though.
Okay.
Because I feel like the announcer was kind of sneak dissing a little bit, so we just I need y'all to listen to this.
Landry fakes a handoff, and it's intercepted, tipped, and then caught by Ritzy. And the big fella still rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. He's going to go the distance if he can catch his breath. That is a touchdown. Can you believe that? A tip, a pick, and Javari Ritzy with a touchdown.
Bro, I ain't used to seeing the big man roll 70 yards.
Right?
That's pretty damn good.
Wait, but like how you said good block, shout out to number 17 blocking somebody twice his size.
Yeah,
That was a great clutch block. I feel like he knew that Ritzy was going to take it all the way. But like, why do I have to be rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling when I'm taking it to the house?
That's an old Berman thing, the rumble, bumble, stumble. But I thought it was hilarious.
Dude, but I'll say,
if he can catch his breath.
That was hilarious.
I bet you if you ask Ritzy, he was breathing pretty hard after that play. To be fair, my man probably hit the oxygen tank when he got on the sideline.
No doubt.
Can we just give a loser though to the broadcast thing? You just see the CW in the corner, guys. It just looks so bad. It just looks so bad.
Whoa.
Dang.
The world needs, Jefferson Pilot too.
Yeah, you will not besmirch the CW with our age group, sir.
They got the little black and orange
Kyle
Halloween
XY
theme.
was
Even
great.
the play clock's orange.
Jake is catching strays in the chat. Daniel Basham says, looks like that video of Jake running.
Oh, I was like, wait, what?
The punt return.
Y'all, listen, you can't throw strays because I M&M myself. I told you everything you need to know about me.
It's true.
Also,
good.
Jake, with the self-deprecating on humor on Friday, I thought that was a great play.
It was an unbelievable play. It was just a funny looking run.
Oh, it's funny.
It
was very funny.
It's like when I used to run the bases as a kid, and I thought I was so fast, and my parents would secretly be laughing, like, "My God, look at how slow our kid is." And I'd come back and be like, "How fast was I out there?" Like, you did great, son.
You did great,
We're proud of
son.
you.
You look like a cartoon trying to get,
Yeah.
like before they.
Yeah, when they like just run in place.
Yeah.
All right, I guess show the D Wade statue again.
Yeah, we can lose her D
We
Wade
can lose
statue.
her. Got to be one of those awkward. I mean, this is your franchise's best player in franchise history. The man who embodies Heat culture more than any other, all-time leader in everything, and it's such a that. Look at D Wade. He's like, bruh, come on now. It's a butterface statue,
Yeah.
Beautiful body.
Everything's good, butterface.
Beautiful body. Everything looks great, and then you get to the face, and you're just like, it's. Somebody said this, and I don't know if this is true, but it's almost like the proportions they sculpted to make like his beard, but then they just made his beard all chin. Like they didn't actually sculpt the beard.
Yeah.
Like they sculpt the shape of the beard, but didn't do the beard, and so it just makes him look. I mean, again, who said is it Kelsey Grammer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer.
Whoever said that is really, really
on.
good. That is spot on. Way too much chin in that D Wade statue.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, nobody's taken by surprise, right? Like, the people unveiling that know, oh, God, we have to go through this because we planned all this, but, man, we're gonna have to get. They're gonna have to get this fixed.
Like, this does not look right.
They're gonna have to get this fixed. You cannot leave the statue like that.
Quote from the sculptors that created the statue: "At the end of the day, we want to do the best job possible with human hands."
As opposed to what? Well, you didn't though.
So
You didn't do the
so
best
funny.
stuff. Even the Ronaldo one that we all clowned, you could still clearly see it was Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He just had a smush face,
It was like Ronaldo meets Sylvester Stallone a little bit.
To me, it was kind of like a social media filter where it smushes your features in and leaves the face. But you could tell, if you didn't have the jersey on the D Wade statue, I don't think a single person out of 10 would guess that was was Dwayne Wade. Not a single one. So yes, Joey, I think it is worse than the Ronaldo bust.
Yeah, it is.
All right, weekend winner for me. Actually, do have a winner and a loser. I hate to pile on to the Saints' misery. But my weekend winner's going Bradley Bozeman. If you guys saw this Nathan Shepard tackle on Justin Herbert, he's intentionally trying to hurt Justin Herbert here. Let's just call it like it is. And then here comes Bradley Bozeman. Boom! Get off, bro.
Hell yeah. That's what you do, dude.
Weekend winner, Bradley Bozeman, 100%. He ain't done yet either. I mean,
That's
shout out.
what you do, bro.
That's as blatant as it gets. Shepard's not even trying to hide it.
Yeah.
What else are you doing? That's not a football
stuff.
play. When you had texted it in the chat, I went back and looked, and it was actually worse than I remembered it being live. And then my weekend loser, it's Anthony Richardson, guys. And it's not just because he played a really bad game for basically however many games he's played in his career. He goes 10 of 32, but that's not why he's the weekend loser. He pulled himself out of the game after a second down play. He rolls to the right. He's running around in the backfield. He gets tackled after no gain. Taps his helmet, goes to the sideline, takes a knee, and then the broadcast is wondering, hey, is Anthony Richardson hurt? He's had some injury issues. Nope. They asked him about it post-game. He said, I was just tired, guys. Just needed a breather, a few plays off. I was just tired, needed to sit out. Keep in mind, they're on the 25-yard line, trying to go down and score in a game that they ultimately only lost by 3 points. And you're Anthony Richardson. You're the franchise quarterback. I'm just taking myself out because I'm a little winded.
I know somebody
Weekend
who's
loser, Anthony Richardson, big time.
What's crazy is, too, so I know somebody who's worked way up kind of in the Colts organization, and that's unfortunately maybe confirmation of some of the seriousness which they said he was approaching the job in the offseason, and they were still kind of holding out hope that just the raw athleticism could maybe bring it to the next level or figure it out. But that's wild. I can't believe
get it,
he did
but
that.
okay, first off, it was a bad pick that they made because he was awful at Florida also, but he has 175 yards passing, a 78-yard touchdown pass to Josh Downs, so over half of that in one play. And I get it, he makes a big-time throw once a game, but his completion percentage on the year is well under 50%. I mean, this has to be over. This has to be it for Anthony Richardson.
He could be a hell of a Taysom Hill. He might not have the toughness for it, but
it's a top 10 pick, Anthony Richardson.
He definitely doesn't have the grit that Taysom Hill does. He just pulled himself out the game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, at least Taysom gets actually hurt.
Yeah.
All the time. My next weekend winner, Cignetti.
Yeah, that's where
Indiana.
I was going to. Yeah.
Hold and serve. No Curtis Rourke. No problem. The team stepping up. Defense, offense. And it's one of those things where I think it's real easy to take for granted, Jake, the win. But we have to remember, this is Indiana.
Yeah.
Nothing should be expected. So the fact that we just easily accept they can come out Saturday and handle business in the manner that they did, game day there, the crowd pump, sellout, Lee Corso day, to just go and handle it and win that game and make it look so run-of-the-mill against Washington, that's just don't overlook that. It's real easy to take that for granted. No, 8-0 with Rourke healthy. That is as good of an offense as anybody in the entire country. I think they're a legitimate Big Ten threat. Shout out Cignetti.
I am right there with you. I had the box score pulled out. That was going to be my next weekend winner. You look at what they've done. It's a great point by you. You just don't roll the helmets out there at Indiana and go beat Washington. And game day was awesome. I mean, thousands of people there. Great scene. Stadium in the background. They handled that. They win the game. It wasn't even as close as 31-17 scoreline.
No,
like they dominated that game. And so now they go to Michigan State, Michigan at home, at Ohio State, Purdue. They are going to be a favorite in 3 of those 4.
Mm-hmm.
The only one they're not going to be a favorite in, of course, on the road against the Buckeyes. And look, you have a common opponent pretty recently in Nebraska. And I know every game's different. I don't even like playing this game. But Indiana beat Nebraska in every phase.
So that's one of my biggest takeaways is I still have major questions about Ohio State's offense.
Right.
Indiana's offense is awesome, and I got major questions about Ohio State's offense.
I mean, there's a real opportunity. And by the way, this offense didn't look like it was. I mean, Curtis Work's certainly going to be the guy as soon as he comes back, but this offense stayed on schedule this game. It is much more than just one quarterback or one player, one anything. Like, they have built a culture there in a short period of time.
It's what we need to look up during the commercial break. Get me, Taylor, if you can find a way to do this, get me Curt Cignetti's record against the spread the last 3 years. Because remember, he was printing money for people at JMU.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Indiana's undefeated against the spread this year. The man just continues to perform above expectation. It's insane.
They have a bye week, by the way, also before
Rourke's
Ohio
hopefully.
State.
I think they're expecting Rourke to potentially be back for Michigan State.
So it goes Michigan State, Michigan, bye week, Ohio State.
All right, when we get back, hold the mayo with some spread lines. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. All your outdoor construction needs under one roof, and what a roof it is, because it's beautiful, man. If you're looking to build a pool, outdoor living area, outdoor kitchen, you need any size or type of fence, pergolas, bulkheads, you want to put turf, putting green, any and all of that, it's all at Pinnacle. Like we always tell you, we build the spaces, you build the memories. And if you go look at the website, at the galleries of the work that they do, you see how multifaceted it is, but more importantly, you see how beautiful it is. So make the home your home of your dreams with Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
PECbuilt.com is the website. This is residential, but also commercial. So if you own a business and you want to change your space, they can certainly come in. They can do that. Any type of fence, whatever you want in your outdoor space, they can handle. PECbuilt.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile bank.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Yo, what's up, y'all? And hey, check it out. We got a new sponsor here on OTB. We are proud to be partnered with Main Event. And look, man, if you talk about Main Event, like, why choose one activity, okay? When you could have them all. We got Cosmic Bowling, a multi-level laser tag arena, a massive gaming floor featuring over 100 arcade games, full-service bar, a newly revised menu. So you need just like a fun spot with the kids, great birthday party, we got you, but also corporate events, man. You got like a company milestone that you want to celebrate. We have dedicated event planners that can ensure that everything will run smoothly. So you can just focus on having fun. Book your next corporate event, birthday, whatever. Experience the difference by going to mainevent.com to book now. That's mainevent.com. Let's have ourselves some fun. Shout out Main Event. Love having y'all on the team. Shout out to Hold the Mayo, our guy Dev Snow. It's time for some spread lines. Dev, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's up? How we doing?
Not the Saints.
Yeah. Nothing's awful about the Saints, bro.
No.
Six
I never had ED. And then I watched the game yesterday, and now I set up a consultation with Goodwood because my wife tried to have sex with me last night and I couldn't. Like straight up.
I cannot imagine. Dude.
I know.
Dude, that's a no 10 out of 10 times for me after something like that, bro. I just got to be honest.
What
are you talking about? I loved it yesterday.
I tried to get it up, and I just thought about Dennis Allen and that like slide whistle that you hear in the on the Goodwood commercial. That was me, basically.
Yeah. I mean, 6 straight losses at anything. You know, we could put this in a grand spectrum. 6 straight losses at putting the trash out to the curb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna have some consequences. If you can't get the trash can out to the curb 6 weeks in a row, well, the neighborhood's not going to want you there no more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The neighborhood smells like fish sticks from 6 weeks ago, man.
Yep.
You got to go.
Yeah, your wife's going to throw hands with you, too, if you don't do that.
Or your husband, your nagging husband that won't shut up about taking the trash out.
Yeah, that too.
This team they just short on talent, bro. It's like, you know, when you go to the gas station, they out of cigarettes and Little Debbie's. Like, that's how short they are on talent. You know, just really short.
They're like when you go to the gas station and just every pump has that yellow out of service bag around it.
Yeah.
You're like, damn it, like, come on.
You made a special like turn.
Yeah,
you got off the
like
interstate.
you really
'cause
need
you need
gas. You're about to run out, and you're like, okay, well now I'm screwed. Now I'm gonna be stranded in the middle of nowhere, and there's Dennis Allen behind the counter.
No, Mickey Loomis chewing gum.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you need gas, huh? All out.
Bro, it's Mickey Loomis. Dude, if you don't like the visual of him behind the gas station, that just makes
sense. Dev, is it at all? I guess the one thing that I do find to be kind of exciting is it's getting to the point now where, I mean, like look beyond the results holds no water, you know? And so like they're definitely going to have to make a switch there. And now we get to do that kind of thing where you get to get excited about maybe quarterbacks. Like, are you already looking at like Shedeur Sanders a little bit differently now?
I like Shedeur Sanders because I also like what Shedeur Sanders could bring as far as coaching.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, bring Prime with him, dude.
Hey, dude, if there's one thing that's why honestly, bro, like, I respect Brian Kelly. I got to be honest because, dude, it don't matter who you are, whether you the kicker, you hold in the kick, you're on defense, offense, whatever. You make a mistake, as soon as you come to the sideline, I don't care where you go on the bench, you go to the far right side, the far left side, whatever, Brian Kelly going to find you, and he going to get in you.
Yeah.
And that's a coach. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw. That's a coach. Dennis Allen, bro, he won't even spin his arm to tell the team to speed up when there's 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter and you're down by 11. He won't even spin his arm to like, hey, man, speed it up, guys. Like, we're not up by 11. You know, he says nothing. He looks at whatever it is. I don't know what he's looking at when he looks down. Looks like he's looking at a Waffle House menu. I'm not sure. But this dude looks down, and it's like, bro, say something. You know what I'm saying? Put a spark in the team or try to.
You know what, though? Like, this has to be it. And I know this is painful, but to go through it right now, like, maybe the only positive can be, like, they'll finally hit reset and they'll finally bring in new people. There's just, like, you never see, Dev, in the NFL, people be around, a team this long. You don't see it. It
no,
just
the
doesn't
Steelers
happen.
are the only example. And I know from talking to Jeff Duncan and other people that have covered this team for decades, the Saints think of themselves like that. Right. Which is crazy because the results haven't been anywhere close.
Like even the Patriots,
to what Pittsburgh does,
have clean house, and they didn't wait that long, right? And so, like, it's painful right now, but surely they have to be able to say, okay, look, we've tried to piece this thing together with duct tape and super glue over the last couple of years, hold on to something that wasn't there, and maybe they can finally hit reset, draft a quarterback in the first round for the first time in 50-plus years or whatever that crazy stat is. Like, surely it has to be now.
Yeah, I think it's going to require, like, you can't go after, like, an offensive coordinator that's doing really good and bring him in. Like, that can't be what it is. It has to be somebody that's got a lot of skins on the wall that as soon as they make a call to hire an offensive coordinator, a defensive, whatever it is going to be, like, them people pick up the phone and they coming down to New Orleans. Like, it has to be somebody that has respect in the league, man. Like, and I don't know who it's going to be, but it can't be like this, this standoffish type vibe ever again, bro.
I don't know who it's going to be, but I feel like looking at like a Dan Quinn, if you want to look at the ideal of like what could potentially happen, here you hire Quinn, a guy who had some success as a head coach the first time around, who maybe is getting a second opportunity, but then he hires Cliff Kingsbury, to your point, Deb. Right, goes out, gets a very good coordinator, and then you hit on your quarterback that you drafted, which that's a run of lucky things that probably, you can't just look to recreate, but like, look how quickly that changed the fortunes in Washington.
Yeah, no, it happens. I mean, other teams have done it before. And that's a great example, Washington. I mean, dude, just the energy that team plays with when you're watching, you could feel it through the TV, and there's other teams that are like that. But the Saints have none. The Saints have no energy. Like y'all said earlier, they just showing up for the check, bro. They got to be there, The
team is spiraled. Like, the team's completely just falling apart now. Like, I agree with you. No, they're not all it's they just know they're bad. They just know they're bad. And they're trying to play because they're professionals and you have to, but it's just tough when you have no real belief that it's going to work out. Maybe you don't have really any belief in your leaders either. And then you're down to playing like rookie quarterbacks, basically, which is just never a recipe for success in the NFL.
And every way you look, you get a stinky outcome. So you get a stinky outcome the last 6 weeks, right? And then they're like, okay, well, first of all, Dennis Allen still that stinks. Okay, and then they're like, oh, well, you know what? Derek Carr's going to come back, and he's going to play the Panthers. So here's your other stinky outcome, and you know what's going to happen. He's going to beat the Panthers, probably grab his balls, and then and we're going to feel like we might be about to go on a road. No, this stinks.
There ain't no run. Yeah, there ain't no run coming, dude.
And look, and I respect like all of Saints media. I think they're one of the teams that has like some of the best media personalities that cover them. But like I saw some even like, well, you know what? The percentages of making the playoffs after you start 2-6, I'm like, y'all, no, move on from that. Like, don't waste your time.
Playoffs?
Yes, don't.
Playoffs?
They're like,
hire Jim Mora.
They listed like 3 teams that had done it. I'm like, guys, this ain't it.
I would make Jim Mora interim head coach. I'd fire Dennis Allen today and make Jim Mora interim head coach.
I'll take Jim Mora Jr. at this point from UConn. I mean, right? I mean,
he was pretty good back in the day. He had some success over there in Atlanta.
Falcons and who else? Seattle, maybe?
I don't know. I just remember his time with the Falcons. He used to hit the smelling salts before the game. That's when Jim Mora Sr. came out and called Mike Vick a coach killer, taking up for his son.
I mean, bro, anything, bro. This team scored a safety and 2 field goals, brother. Like,
and then of course, Groupie misses the next one. You know, it's just like.
Well, I mean, honestly, I got to cut him some slack. I mean, dude's only 95 pounds. He kicks so many field goals.
Yeah.
His leg probably weighs 4 pounds. His little leg is probably busted up at this point. So, yeah, no, I got to cut him some slack. This is the first team I've ever really seen that every game, every 60 minutes, they go out there, man, let's get in field goal range. And if you listen to Dennis Allen's press conferences, he even talks about it. He's like, yeah, man, it's it's 3rd and 11. I guess and you're on the 30. You want to try to get into field goal range. No, how about you do something spectacular?
With who? I don't know.
I mean,
well, how do we feel about the Kamara contract though? Because I'm happy. If nothing else, like I don't know what it means in terms of wins and losses, but. That man's a Saint through and through. He puts it on for the team in the city every week. He's dealt with this awful Dennis Allen era. I'm excited to see AK locked up for another couple years.
Yeah, no, and he deserves it. I mean, look at yesterday. He gets the ball thrown to him, and it's literally under a half a second. He gets absolutely smoked. So, yeah, if anybody deserves it, it's Alvin Kamara. I mean, he's got to fall to the ground because every ball he gets thrown to him, dude, the guy is ready to lay him out. Just nothing but Oshner balls, bro.
Nothing but Oshner balls. Dev, where are we going for RB&R Day today?
I don't know. I'm going to go to this little haunted house. It's on, I forget what street. It's the one that you always see on the internet in New Orleans. They got all the haunted, I don't know, it's like 1,000 different play on words in the front yard.
That Taylor Swift one?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So I'll probably go mess with that and then go somewhere in the city after. But yeah, bro, the fan base at this point is just fed up. I had a 14-year-old call me last night on the show. He's cussing.
I mean, how could you do anything but cuss if you watch the Saints team? It's like I said. It's an exercise in torture. It's really real sicko stuff. All right, Deb. Hey, hcmsports.com/shop. Get all the merch. The merch is still badass, if nothing else,
Yeah, man.
So go ahead and take advantage. Sub to the YouTube channel. Go hang out in spread quarters after the game. It's the place to be.
All right, boys. Appreciate it. Y'all take care.
See you, Dev.
Man, Dev. Have yourself a good Monday, brother. Enjoy RB&R Day. All right. Hey, do you want to remind you about All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge? AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. If you need a new vehicle, Toyota certified used vehicle, or you just need a body shop or a service center, it's open to all makes and models. Doesn't have to be All-Star. Doesn't have to be Toyota. They got your back. And the only thing scary about All-Star is how scary good the deals are. Well, and the people. And if you went to the Saturday's Trunk or Treat, I hope you had an excellent time. All right, more OTB coming up next.
Off the bench.
Go to ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu. Look, if you want the number to call, let them know you came from OTB. It's 267-8003, 267-8003. Call that number. You talk to the mission specialist. You start to maybe, set up like a campus tour, understand how the scheduling works. Remember, they will schedule for you. We have plenty of financial aid available for those who qualify, multiple different avenues which you can take advantage of. Beautiful campus right there off an airline for 50 years, family owned. Been helping Louisianians get that career. Okay, that's what we say, ITI for a better life. Take control. Get a better life. ITIcollege.edu.
Yeah, go to the website today. You'll see a great overview of their campus. Now, we always encourage you, go see it for yourself. Yeah, sure, you can get an idea of what it looks like off Airline Highway on the website, but go see it for yourself. Schedule that campus tour today. You can do it right there on the homepage of the website, iticollege.edu.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
Congratulations to last week's college football pick'em contest winner, Kevin Helt, senior from Baton Rouge. Kevin is the Week 8 winner in our 2024 pick'em contest. He won a Hooters wing party for 10 people, so don't forget to make your picks for round 9 by Thursday at noon for your chance to win a Hooters wing party for 10. And the season-long champ is going to receive a 75-inch 4K flat-screen TV and a soundbar, plus free Hooters wings for an entire year. It's the 2024 College Football Pick'em presented by Hooters.
I mean, you know, if you're going to watch the Saints, you should at least do it on a nice TV with some wings.
With a rack.
And you, why not?
I don't know.
Are you talking about boobs?
I'm trying to relate.
By the way, Signetti, 22-10 against the spread the last 3 years. Making that money, man.
You say Google me?
Yeah.
You mean Google me.
Against the spread, 22-10.
They are real.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and they're deep. They're complete. They're complete. They're a good team. All right. It's time for a Tay-Tay NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
Okay, so I could talk about how the New York Jets have not won a game since Robert Saleh's been fired, but I'm not going to do that. I could talk about how the Dallas Cowboys are abysmal, but despite the fact that T-Bob wants me to bring up negative headlines, I got a positive one for us today. My favorite holiday occurred yesterday, National Tight End Day. And while this was created by accident by Kittle a couple years ago, we know about it. Record day for tight ends in NFL history yesterday. So tight ends combined yesterday had 177 catches. That is a single-day record for the NFL. Also, 17 touchdowns by tight ends, but 14 of them, 14 different tight ends, found the end zone a combined 17 times. What? Kittle had 128 yards and a touchdown. Kyle Pitts finally broke out. He had 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, we talk about this all the time. It's like the joke. You hear about it all the time. Tight End Academy, National Tight End Day, but it's a real thing. I mean, Kate Otten for the Bucs yesterday. I mean, they were out Mike Evans. They were out Chris Godwin, who was going to step up. Kate Otten, 9 catches, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Bucs. National Tight End Day is a real thing.
Shout out. So that was actually National Tight End Day.
Yesterday.
Going into it.
Yes, going into it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But then a number came up, like, I think on average they usually have about 135 catches on a normal Sunday.
Yeah.
He had 177 yesterday.
Damn. All right, get the Kirko video ready. Acton Baton Rouge, ActonBR.com. All your AC, heat, and electrical needs under one roof. You get that service to the highest degree when you work with Acton. And, well, that ain't just lip service, guys. Go look at the online reviews and understand whether something's already gone wrong or you just need like a general checkup, or you want to explore things like the Star Club membership where they stay on top of it for you year round, or you want like a whole home generator to protect you during storm season. Thousands of reviews, a 4.9 Google review rating. Because although the internet seemingly hates everything, they love Aggiton. That's because of customer service. All right, cringe or not, here is Kirk Cousins getting the Falcons ready to play.
Yeah, we grind, we smack. We fight, no cap. We fight, no cap. We walk in your trap, take over your trap. We walk in your trap, take over your trap. We grind, we smack. We grind, we smack. We fight, no cap. We fight, no cap. We walk in your trap, take over your trap. We walk in your trap, take over your trap. We walk in your trap, take over your trap. We walk in your trap, take over your trap.
Some good dad energy, man. What are we talking
It's
about?
great
here?
dad energy. I'm just laughing because the Falcons have good vibes right now. They actually do believe in Kirk, right? And so it's the same thing we talk about Breeze. Cheesy as hell, but when you believe in your guy, you're like, okay, I'll follow you. And I just love that you can kind of, the cheer starts a little weak, and then they're kind of like, okay, and you see him start to jump up a little bit like, okay, Kirk, we got you, man. What's the first line, though?
Oh, I can barely understand any of that.
Yeah, I don't remember what he said.
We fight no cap is the one that gets me, dude.
You know, not as many steps to remember, though. Like, I mean, Drew's, you had to get out like a pen and
That's true. That's true.
paper to be able to remember
Yeah,
it.
you needed like the karaoke words on the screen for
Yeah.
it.
You know, it had more Jameis in it than I think.
Yeah, that's true. Kirk has he has a musical theater background.
He does.
So I'm sure he was proud of his little chant that he made up there, but
you know he worked on it too, though.
I know. Oh yeah. I mean, like, is that the first time that he told them it?
It feels like it.
It feels like that was like, I feel like
All right,
he
guys.
debuted it on game
They were like,
day.
oh, like, this is what we're doing.
Okay, yeah,
Kirk.
sure.
Also, how bad are their numbers? That totally looks like 78 and not 18.
It does look like 78.
That looks like 78,
I would've never-
100%. That is
I would've
not a
never
one.
noticed that.
No, I literally was
That's
like,
the
since
only
when
thing I
is
could
Cousins
watch, yeah.
78?
That's the only thing
Look,
I could watch the entire video.
Since it is for LSU a bye week this week, and T-Bob's going to be out the rest of the week, like, you know, we got some time to maybe do some different things.
Yeah.
We need to put a list together of teams that need to absolutely go back to their old uniforms.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Falcons are right
They're
there
on
at the
there.
top.
I agree.
There's like 15 teams that are like no-brainers that
I'd
need
put-
to go back to their old uniforms.
A lot of people disagree. I'd put the Sixers on there. I like their old AI uniforms a lot better.
Oh, ooh, yeah, I would disagree with that. The gold and black and blue and red.
Yeah.
We fight no cap. He's like writing it down like,
I know.
yes,
He's like,
dude,
yes, we
yes,
fight.
dude.
They're going to
Palms
love
are sweaty,
this.
knees weak, arms are heavy.
Yeah.
By the way, Jameis did mess that up as well.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hear me out. It's cringe, but I love it.
Well,
It's
here's the eternal
it's
truth.
endearingly cringe.
It is, yes, because it's dad stuff. But
Yes.
here's also the eternal truth about football. or about sports that we always talk about. If you win, you can do anything.
Yeah.
They're in first place. So that's all that matters, right? We fight no cap? Sure. I'm on board. Okay. Let's do it. We walk in your trap. We take it in your trap. We run. We fight no cap. We walk in your trap. We take your trap.
This tavern ass chant. Which, did you see what I sent you yesterday?
No.
It's an espresso remix, and it's
Oh,
medieval.
wait, no. I thought I responded to that. Yes, it was fantastic. Yeah. It was a medieval bard version of Sabrina Carpenter's espresso, and whoever did it absolutely nailed it. Shout out Bardcore. All right, Ask the Bench when we get back.
Off the bench.
Go to Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon, 225-888-8888. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys there to fight for you when you need somebody to stand up for you. You know, get you what you deserve. If you get in an accident, don't let those big insurance companies bully you around, okay? Gordon McKernan is, they're the experts. They've been at this for years. You go to getgordon.com. You can fill out a free consult form. You can see the cases that they handle, see real results from past customers, see how they get involved in the community with their Gordon Gives initiatives. And as always, follow them on social media at GetGordon. And look, you got Nuss on the G team now, Will Campbell. See a lot of great content. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys.
Yeah, I mean, the website really is a great tool for you. You can do so many different things, including getting a question answered right there on the website. But we always tell you, if you're in Louisiana, it is super simple to get in contact with them. Just put your area code followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America, Off the Bench.
Welcome back to OTB. All-Star Toyota, look, you need a new vehicle, All-Star Toyota's there for you, man. Whether you're looking to rent, buy, Toyota certified used vehicles, brand new, it's all there. They're the best. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge right there on the Airline Highway. Right now, it's time for a little Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Cruiser Light, Busy Art Tilton, and Blue Moon Light Sky, such a sweet.
Y'all driving to Disney, bro?
Hell yeah.
Good luck.
10 hours. I ain't scared. I hate flying with kids that are Bobby's age. Once they can chill on an iPad, then flying's easy.
But 10 hours in the car.
Yeah, but I mean, kind of he's locked in the car seat.
You can also pull over.
Basically,
he cries.
you're holding him hostage. It's a little bit easier.
If he cries. It is what it is. When you're on the plane, he's like climbing all around you. You're worried about strangers.
Yeah.
You can't pull over. Like, it's just so bad. Ask the Bench, when you go around Epcot, do you go left or right? I always start right in Canada. We're going to start left this time, at least once.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
At least once.
I like that.
So Epcot's built like a giant circle there around the world thing is. And so almost everybody just always like naturally starts to the right and goes Canada first. But you could go Mexico.
Okay.
You should.
Yeah. I'm
In
going
honor.
to. Because also you end up getting too drunk and you never make it to Mexico normally.
Too drunk at Disney.
Ask the Bench, first ride y'all are riding at Disney. So we're starting on Wednesday at Universal during the day. We're getting out of there before it gets too spooky. And then Tiana, we're actually going to start on the new Tiana ride Wednesday night. Cannot wait for that. Very excited. Ask the Bench, why does T-Bob hate capitalism? I don't. I love capitalism. I think unchecked capitalism can lead to maybe some potential issues as the cult's perpetual growth continues to help these corporations grow in power and control our political system more and more by the day. But I also think objectively, the competitive marketplace that capitalism creates is best for the consumer on the back end and for the country as a whole. And I think that was proven pretty emphatically during something like the Cold War.
Shout out free market.
Yeah. To a point. I think you can go a little too far with it sometimes, but yes, on the whole, yes. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Man, that capitalism was really the last question, huh?
This from Matt C says, start less so you don't have to taste the terrible Canadian beer by the end of it. I know you'll probably have an answer for that.
He does not, I guess it means he's not the fan of Le Fin du Monde. I think Le Fin du Monde is a very tasty beer. Even though my favorite beers are these Norwegian beers, and they're ass. They're literally spelled ass. I think it's pronounced oos, but I love them ass beers. Yeah, give me them ass beers, baby.
Interesting.
All right, love you guys. Don't worry, baby. Tigers come back strong. Watch any spooky movies this weekend? I did not this weekend, actually. Love y'all later.
Off the bench.
Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Don't settle for mediocre sex life. If Dennis Allen has ruined your ability to get it up, well, guess what? Goodwood is there for you because you don't have to suffer, okay? On Sundays, you kind of do if you're going to watch this team. But you don't have to suffer in your everyday life. ED, treatable. Low T, treatable. Aging, treatable with a customized plan for you with transparent and affordable pricing. And the experts, man. So like we're done making excuses. We're taking control. We're reaching our full potential. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com.
Yeah, go to the website today, see what they can do for you, because look, there is no reason to live life with embarrassment or fear. Goodwood is going to help you. Go to the website today, YourGoodwood.com.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.